Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another great edition. This is your host, the one and only Witness You. Even Madlanga Commission knows there's a Witness You. Even Longwe Twala, in his fake cadicious letter, knows that everything is unfiltered. It is Ganingi. I am here and I confirm my presence on behalf of members of the public jury. That is you, Bandava. That is also you. The watching briefs, the impalas that went to Shadrach Sivia's plot, but he doesn't know about them. But then he needed his Zimbabwean gardener to find him a mate. Kuningi, it's such a mess. The cooking continues. Tomorrow, court is in session. What say you? Something is wrong with my headphones. So let me just adjust because I seem to be getting feedback and it sounds very weird. So let me try this one more time. What is happening with these cables? This is what happens when technology is fighting. There we go. We're back in business. I can hear myself much, much better. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am here. So, let me know in the comment section where you are coming from, where you are standing from where you are sitting. What is it? I know it's a late live. I know it's a late live, but I really wanted to do this live because I have so much to talk about. And ironically, I wanted to talk about the t-shirt line, and in so doing, the t-shirt line, if you don't know what I'm talking about, we spoke about, I did a video. Gave you a sneak peek of the t-shirts I'd currently designed. I'm like, you know what? Let me know what you guys want to see on the t-shirts. And my goodness, did I open a can of worms. But I absolutely love it. It's absolute fun. Let me read to you the list that I have so far. The t-shirts should say, I'm indebted to you. I confirm my presence. Du-du-du-du. From where I am sitting. That's right. I know that's right. Inside Pagati within. Another one says, Unamang. And another one says, they are cooking. I know that's a nod to Advocate Tulani Joshua Ngomezulu. So I like that one. I like that one. And then the next one, it says, ngelinye ilanga bakhona abayongisiza nami. Drop in the comment section whose wise words those are. Because man, oh man, did they get our judge upset. And then another comment said, Lenkantolo corrupt. Yes, yes, yes. And then we also have Klima Klima Klima. Someone literally said they want a t-shirt that says Ipiposhongo. Seriously? But I put it on the list. Okay, I'm not biased. I am not being biased. And then we have Unfiltered Truths. Inchebe. This is Inche China. Really? Really? You're going to wear a t shirt that says that? Okay, no problem. I'm going to put them into production. And then one says, you can take me up on appeal. I think this was the most popular one because at the time that I checked, it had 45 likes to that comment. You can take me up on appeal. And as you know, that is the title of this live because, wow, what a judge. What a judge. Where is the impartiality? So it's ironic that my colleague, SA Infotainment, he literally also had an interesting video that he posted. I think it's today. So I want us to go through it because it's literally the points well, not all the points, but we're going to be back in the court tomorrow. Will we have a presiding officer or is he going to recuse himself? So let me start by explaining how a recusal process works. Okay, so another t-shirt design was Bantu education. Yes, yes, yes. Okamba manga. I think that one goes with the first one. And somebody said, I think this one is just really trying to pull my nerves because I'm very nervous about tomorrow. This last one says, Ulimi Liga Georgie. So, is our favorite interpreter, and by our, I mean me, myself, and I, is he going to be back? Is Mr. J.M. Batane going to be back? Or it's going to be Jonas? Who is going to be the interpreter tomorrow? What's your prediction? I just don't see Mr. J and Batsani coming back. And knowing the way this case always goes, you can never get too comfortable. The only person comfortable who can safely say, I am still here, is Advocate George Baloy. Okay, he's been all the way from the Boksburg Magistrate Court. He's been inside Parity Within. Oh, let's not forget Shololo. She's been there holding it down. Her and accused number 5, Fisuguhle and Tuli, they are joined at the hips, okay? All the way from Boksburg Magistrate Court. But as for the interpreter, we're having, you know, I don't know if you guys remember, there was also once Ulapoge. Do you guys remember him? And I remember that the accused ended up complaining that, you know what, they just get interpreters all over the show. The level of the interpretation is not make sure. And then in the end, that's how Jonas came back. He had disappeared for quite a bit. He was busy out there doing interviews and dun dun because he's a very important guy. I mean, he goes home with evidence from the SENZO MEYIWA trial. What a man, what a man, what a man. Ironically, is it not Sergeant Nkosi who's appearing in court tomorrow as well? He was found with dockets at home. And as you know, it can't be. You can't be carrying dockets home. So, Jonas, how did he leave the courtroom with evidence? And then now we didn't have the evidence. He also left the courtroom with our apology. I am still holding him accountable. He owes advocate. Sorry, not lieutenant. I've been inside the Madlanga for too long, okay? In the generals. No, attorney Sipho Ramasipili. He owes him an apology after he threw out all his toys. And then he said, did I say that? Did I say that? Did I say that? I never said that. My lord, it's very unfair. You know, some people talk on and on and on. When the witness goes on and on and on, nobody complains. But then they jumping up and down. Jonas, the level of comfort you have. Where is Shololo to say and call him to order? You are just an interpreter. What are you doing? George, 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 play the audio. Jonas, the stare that Georgie gave him, he also couldn't believe him that he's being instructed by just an interpreter. And then, of course, in true Georgie Malloy style, he ran away. Yes, they went for break. You know how it is. When Georgie is overwhelmed, my lord, this is a good time for us to take an adjournment. Can we take a short adjournment? Can we take the long adjournment? And they went off. So he uses that as a tactic to kind of reset the room, especially with Untanzi. Tanzi, oh, I bet you he's coming back recharged. And the worst part is, till the very last minute, Danzi hadn't lost momentum. He was there. He was inside Parati Within. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your host. Okay, witness you. Let's take an opportunity right now to like the video. Please let us like the video. Let's go ahead and do the right thing. I mean, I have come back to live streaming. So all you got to do is like the video just once, okay? This is the algorithm, this is the mileage, and you know how expensive everything is right now just because of the pew pew wars and the planes. And the thing is, over there in Iran, thanks to strange things are happening in South Africa. But then he's a little bit busy right now to focus on South Africa. But basically, that is what I'm saying. Just hit the like button. It's absolutely free. What it does, it lets YouTube know that we're live. We are live. We are live. I see my sister in the house, Barbara Peters Mazwite. It has been a minute. Ba 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 ba. Welcome back to live. Welcome back to live. You Parate inside from the big province of Gauteng. Oh yes, the very big province, because you already know KZN is the tiny little province. Can I tell you something, guys? Today being, what day is it today? Today is the 12th of April. Do you guys know 2026? It's almost going to be a year since the Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi from the tiny little province of KZN came through and he literally made it rain in the Gulugutu kingdom. And do you know, to this day, there are still people who do not know who said tiny little province? Do you know there's still people who catch feelings? And then when they catch those feelings, then they come and display their ignorance and lack of current affairs right here in my comment section. And yesterday I got the worst kind of comment. I said, "Are you for real?" This comment is from Otabile. She's very upset with me. Very, very upset. Okay. Tabile Mhlazi to the front of the room. Tabile, 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 Tabile. Why do you not portray what your name says? Tabile, where is your tabby? Where? The tabby in Tabile is lost in your comment. She says, "Do you really have to refer to KZN as a tiny little province? Sounds so very condescending." It's not me. It is not me. It is the Honorable General. Well, the Honorable Suspended General. I don't know how honorable he is because his sidekick is inside Parati within Hosim Mampuru. Boo, 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 boo. He's there by the Hosim Mampuru and he's not eating. I wonder if tomorrow they'll tell us that he's had something to eat with. He's too afraid to eat. The suspended Sergeant Gossi, who drove a whole SAPS BMW into Katie Malifa's house, walks out of the BMW that is state issued. Where are the AVL records? I bet you those AVL records don't exist as well. He meets up with Katie Malife and he gets a bag. The contents of that bag to this day are being deliberated. And what I loved about the Madlanga Commission is as he tried to, segue left, right, and center, segue left, right, and center. Do you know what he said? He said in the bag was a helmet shield, gloves, and a t-shirt. Sir, sir, we cannot see inside the bag, but from outside looking in, it does not look like there's a helmet, gloves, and shields in there. In fact, it looks very rectangular, extremely distinct. He should have just said it was the iPhone 17 Pro Max that was in the bag. Instead, he had to invent this bulky bag. So he stuck with his guns. And senior counsel said to him, "Oh, it's okay. We've got the SKUs. We're going to go to Harley Davidson ourselves. We're going to get those items and package them in a bag, and we'll be doing the exhibit ourselves." And I said, "That's my man. There we go." And it was silence from the Mgulugudu. Like, it's like they don't get it. It's like they don't get it. You have just come from the Madlanga Commission for 8 days. You went home and you continue to keep a hand grenade in your home, in your possession. You continue to keep the duck. Are you invincible? Are you a criminal? That is the question of the day. So let me check into your comments. Let me check into your comments. Da, 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 da. We have our channel member, Barbara Peters, Uzwite Galanga, and she says, "Hello, witness you. Hello, darling." The Impala watchers are in the house. That's right. Inside Parati within. Boo, 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 boo. Inside Parati from Maeve. Welcome, welcome. And then we also have Inside Parati within Botswana. Doo, 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 doo. This is Ukhomotso. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Charlie is also here. Hola, 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 hola. And then we have Good Evening, my favorite independent podcaster. Shout out to Lieutenant General Umkonazi from the tiny little province of KZN. Guys, you can never make me stop saying that. I'm sorry. If you are in KZN and you catch feelings when I say tiny little province of KZN, as if I cannot look at a map and see just how large KZN is, I'm concerned about you. I'm concerned about you and your level of humor. Because it is not I who said it, but from the day that I heard it, the 6th of July 2025, it was ingrained in me. In fact, I think that deserves a t shirt. Let me just write that down. How did you guys not write that in the t shirt list? Tiny little province Oh, this will make them mad. They'll get so mad. They'll type so many comments and think they're hurting my feelings. I never said I'm not the author of the words. In fact, Shadrach Zabia should sue me for copyright for using his not artificial intelligence. What is it called? His can't remember what the word is right now. Anyway, he is the author of those words. He is the originator. He owns the trademark to tiny little province of KZN. He's the one who can sue me. You know what I'm saying? He can send me an interdict. Mzansi Unfiltered, witness you. I've had it with you. Stop it already. Let it go. You can tell I'm a petty person, right? Then there's Brigadier Wangani Nicholas Gininda. Mhm. You already know, right? Mm-hmm. If you can, Brigadier Gininda. Sir, sir. Okay, in all fairness, you know what? I don't really want to pick on you. I was just minding my own business reading pala documents. Huh? Reading pala documents. And there it was. And then I gave the pocketbook to Gininda. You already know that pocketbook has disappeared. What do you mean? How did you give the pocketbook to Brigadier Mohamed Nicholas Gininda? It means you don't follow the SENZO MEYIWA trial. But the good news is before you gave him the original. That's the pocketbook of General Umfazi, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, who was investigating, of course, Ramasofa and the Palapala incident. And he saw that there's a lot of unmake sure situations over there, especially with Paul O'Sullivan's most favorite, the slush fund. And then he made a copy of the late General Mfazi's pocketbook, and he gave the original to Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda, who's on page 283 of Paul O'Sullivan's book. And Paul O'Sullivan flew him out of pocket to the Czech Republic. And then when they were at the Czech Republic, this is all in the book. Okay, I'm not making this up. It's on page 283. You should check it. When they got to the Czech Republic, they conspired with the people over there in the Czech Republic and they said, send an email, Gininda. Gininda, write an email from your SAP's email and say that there's this kind of danger. Done is. And then the SAPS officials that didn't go, that were still in South Africa, said, what are you doing in the Czech Republic? Why are you sending emails from the Czech Republic? Who do you think you are? Permission denied. They were on some kind of undercover mission. Yes, him and Paul O'Sullivan. And they were trying to help their informant, their witness, 204 section witness, who is called, oh, where's Patricia Mashale when you need her? What's the witness's name? Something Nari. I can't remember the witness's name, but it's a Nari in there, but that's not his name because the real Nari has passed away. And then this witness, with the help of Gininda of the cold drink unit, took his identity and gave it to the Section 204. Guningi, it is a lot. Brigadier Gininda, like, how many times should we call your name? Do you not see where Sergeant Nkosi is? He's presently inside Pagati within. He's still, I don't know if he's doing a Daniel fast or he's doing some kind of post Easter fast, but he is refusing to eat the food that's in prison. I believe it's 2 slices. What was it that my lord said? And Georgie Valoy, they said something along the lines of, no, court can't continue. The human rights, they must eat. They can't, because the day when there was no lunch, guys, when they said lunch, I thought like lunch. I thought like lunch, like lunch. Only to find out it's 2 slices of bread. 2 slices of bread, and I'm not sure that it's multigrain bread. Anyway, so Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda's name Why am I hearing sounds? Are you guys making noise in the comment section? Why am I hearing sounds? Anyway, so is that you, Brigadier? Anyway, Lieutenant General Umkwanazi, he literally said, if it was not for independent podcasters on these YouTube streets, where would we be without them? Where would we be without independent podcasters? Because you can already see mainstream media still hasn't reported that the lead investigator in the SENZO MEYIWA trial has the pocketbook, the original pocketbook of General Mfasi. Where is the pocketbook, Brigadier Gideon? And I don't want to hear about you lost it. I don't want to hear about you lost it. These are not AVL records. There's no contract around it. It is a physical pocket book. Let me know in the comment section what Brigadier Keninda said about his very own pocketbook. What was it again? I mean, we can't just be in talking other cases and then your name pops up. Why is your name in it? Why are you everywhere? And why can it never be? Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Keninda on page 283 did an excellent job solving XYZ case. Where is that evidence? Because cold storage unit, did you or did you go and request the docket for KT Malifi, which is not a cold case unit case? Brigadier Keninda, we are going back to the SENZO MEYIWA trial tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. in Pretoria. What have you been up to during these 2 weeks? Did you take the Easter break? Did you and your family? Because I know my Lord told us that you would never, never work on a weekend and drive to KZN, tiny little province, and leave your family and children. And then one would be tempted to say, how does my Lord know? Why is my Lord speaking on behalf of the whole brigadier? Yes. Oh, we have you in the house. Come to the screen so that we talk about your video. Come. You're making accusations on the whole judge, the whole entire judge. Recuse me. You can take me up on appeal. As we take you up on appeal, my lord, we'll also be printing a t-shirt in your honor. So, guys, I've gone down a rabbit hole. These things happen to me when I'm recording. But the point I was getting at, I wanted to tell you what happens on an appeal and how an appeal occurs. How does an appeal occur? It is the most, law is just such a funny thing. So, to take, you can take me up on appeal. I will use an actual case, a case study. Meeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which appeal case can I use? Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Jocelyn Smith, whose mother was a substance abuser over there in the Western Cape. The mother went to work. Her boyfriend, she left her child. Instead of the child going to school, the child was left with her boyfriend, Buddha, and their friend, Steffi, and their other neighborhood friend, Rans. Her boyfriend owns the car wash, but Rans wakes up in the morning never having food for her children. Then she walks over to Kelly's house to beg for food to feed her children. And the reason they don't have food is because they are always on a substance that rhymes with TikTok. So that's where they spend all their money and they spend the whole day doing that. And then Buddha says, hey, she was playing outside. I don't know where she went. Anyway, their friend Rans, who became a Section 204 witness, she told the story of what they did. Kelly put the child in a car with a woman who had dots on her face and was dressed in green. This is just a summary, guys. The child's name is Jocelyn Smith, and to this day, she is still not found. Kelly Smith, Buddha, and Steffi were all charged with trafficking and kidnapping of Jocelyn Smith. Because there was no body found, it cannot be said that she's not alive. And they also couldn't be charged for murder. For them to be charged for that, there has to be a body. Okay, there has to be a byproduct of their activities. So they were charged for life, and of course, their judge. You already know their judge is Judge Ndim. Yes, my favorite. You know, my favorite interpreter is Mr. J.M. Mbatane. Yeah, my favorite judge. Yes, Judge Ndim. Judge Ndim. Nathan Erasmus. That's him. Judge Ratha can learn a thing or two from him because he was amazing. Okay, so what happens on appeal? When the judge says you can take me up on appeal, and he says it with such confidence, because it's not like you're just going to jump over him and go and report him to the supervisor and then get an appeal granted. No, you must face him and tell him, Judge Rata, that you want an appeal, and then you make your submissions, and then he decides whether or not you can have. It's the most silliest thing, but he decides. Not somebody else decides. Not an outside. No, him. He says yes or no to the appeal. So what happened with the accused, who are now the convicted? Kelly Smith, Buddha, and Steffi, they did not have any defense. Their judge, Judge Ndim, was extremely upset with them for not standing up in their defense or taking the stand because he said they had a lot to answer to. He would have loved to hear their cross examination or their evidence in chief. Long story short, they were convicted by default guilty. And then, of course, you don't take up your defense, but then they wanted to appeal the guilty conviction and the life sentence. Da 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 da. They submitted their lawyers, okay? Their lawyers being Umkabai of Umkabai. Okay, I shouldn't do that. This is a brief summary, so I can't even get into Umkabai of Umkabai Associates. Anyway, so they submitted, the defense attorneys, the three of them, they submitted that they wanted to appeal the decision. And then the defense, no, the state has to either agree that this should go to appeal or they have to stand with the judge. And the defense, of course, supported the judge's decision. And Judge Ndim said, you are not absolutely getting no damn appeal. Okay. Tell your clients it's life. I said life. Life is life. Okay. The life is lifing and nothing more, nothing less. Life sentence. So that appeal was thrown away. And as we speak, they're almost a year inside Parati within. I don't think I've heard any further updates with that case except rumors here and there about Jocelyn being found. Dun dun. Okay. Are we on the same page on what an appeal is? Yes. Okay. So now that we're on the same page on what an appeal is and why Judge Retta says you can take me up on appeal, you do know he's the most senior black judge. No one is more senior than him, even those inside Parati within the constitutional dun dun. Okay. Basically, he's literally saying, I am the law. I am above the law. I am it, the one and only. Okay. It's giving dictatorship. Yeah, it's giving dictatorship. We're already in a kangaroo court, presided by a judge who, in my opinion, from where I am sitting, the evidence that I've watched on my screen on a day in, day out. Well, I don't see where the free and without fear or favor is. Because the favor that I'm seeing, it's giving boo 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 boo. Ladies and gentlemen, this live is officially now sponsored by Titty. Boo 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 boo. Thank you so much, Titty. It is also sponsored by Lonke. And wait. They are both channel members. Do, 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 do. Thank you so much for sponsoring, yeah, today's live stream. When you sponsor a live stream, it brings me absolute joy. It brings a smile to my face. And no, don't ask me for a picture of myself. And if I give you a picture of me, then how am I witness you? How am I in camera if you now know what I look like? You got to stick with the program. I am the author of the in cameras. Madlanga was inspired by Mzansi Unfiltered. Don't you think? I'm just kidding. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's show. It brings me absolute joy. It goes into our equipment bucket. And we are equipmenting. We've recently upgraded our editing software. So I'm so excited about that. I'm a little bit nervous, but we are in it. We are in it. I just need time to play with it. You can already see I'm now designing the t shirts. They're actually uploaded, by the way, guys. Just that when you design a t shirt, YouTube has to check the t-shirt and make sure it's not a Gulliver tendency, okay, that is being broadcasted on YouTube's platform. YouTube is a very, very, very thin line, okay? So of course it's gonna be approved. There's one person, I can't remember what the comment was, and I was like, no, I cannot put this on a t-shirt. It's against YouTube done policies. So that's not gonna work. I can't remember what it was, but it was going to be YouTube was going to call me to the office, okay? It was going to call me to the office and put me in the naughty girls corner. I do not like to be in the naughty girls corner. I hate it. Speaking of the naughty girls corner, thank you to everybody who subscribed to my second channel, GNU Unfiltered. We are officially at 15,000 subscribers. Yay! And it brings me absolute joy. I don't know if you know the biggest secret on YouTube that nobody tells you. I'm going to tell you, okay? But don't tell anyone I told you. Don't tell content creators; they're going to be so upset. On YouTube, you just need 1,000 subscribers. That's the magic number. Any other subscriber count is just a cosmetic metrics. Why 1,000 subscribers? Because 1,000 subscribers opens up you to monetization. So whether you have 1,000,000 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers, we all answer to the same boss and the same rules. The only difference is, views, likes, and done done. Speaking of views and likes, let me just check if you guys have liked this live. Like, I'm doing my part. I showed up for the live late. Yes. Yes. But guess what? I showed up. The important thing is that I showed up. And as I am here from where I am sitting and broadcasting, have you liked the live? Have you? Or have you not liked the live? We have 155 people in our live stream, ladies and gentlemen. 155. I am about to click. I'm giving you a chance to be a part of the community. Will you be part of the people that have liked the video? We have 102. We have 67 likes. Oh my gosh, that's like stabbing me in the back. That hurts me. It hurts me so much. So we're just gonna continue with the live. While I wait for you to hit that like button. Good evening, witness. You from Namibia. Hello, Namibia. We've got Namibia in the house. Witness B. Hello, B. Bondaba. How are you? Dan says his t-shirt is me. I listen. Guys, how did you guys skip that one? Me, I listen. I listen. I'm telling you. I think like all of these are such interesting. Oh, I forgot to put the me. Me, I listen. First of all, that's not correct English, Judge Ratha, but I guess we're not there. Okay, we're not there. You can't say me, I. That doesn't work. I'm sure Mr. Linguistics, Mr. Mbotane, can help me explain how that sentence is incorrect. But we are neither here or there. I am not thumb sucking. Advocate Tulani Joshua Ngomezulu. Zulu. There we go. There we go. Um Zungu Senior, yes, yes, that is his t-shirt phrase. A very, very wise old man. I want to see Makeleni I on the t-shirt. No, Makeleni is Mgulugudu. He's a fictitious character. We're not going to let him have extra strength. Please, and I want to also see. I have Kelly Kumalo's 205s. Yeah, that one we can do because we do have them. I have 205s. Kelly Kumalo. I'll fix the sentence later. Kelly Kumalo. I like that one, Maga Sandra. I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay, I'm going to quickly scan your comments because I really want us to watch SA Infotainment together. I just watched your video on Judge Ratha's behavior, right? Mm-hmm. I confirm my presence from the tiny little province of KZN. I'm telling you, it's so tiny. It hurt Shadrach Sibia so much. And then Botswana, Dimpo, honorary. I see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I see you, Bugs. We see you. He's inside. He saw himself and he said, I didn't upload another video. What is going on here? I am the one watching. No, what do you mean? It's me. I know. I thought about it that it would be confusing. It's me. I want us to listen to the points that he made because they are very good. And they make my work easy. I don't even have to say anything. I just have to play his video. Okay. So I think I'm up to date with all the comments. Every Gulligood has his day. That should actually be a t-shirt. Infotainment. Did anybody read anything from the most senior judge on recess? If I'm still alive. What is wrong with you? Yeah? You have a memory, huh? Me, I listen. Yes, he did say that. Those were his last parting words. Did anyone check the obituary section? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just ignore what I said. That's not nice. That's not in my brand. Um Tammy, hello, hello, hello. Shout out to Team Defense 375. We are inside Pagati within. Let me hit the like button and those who are new, subscribe. Thank you so much, Queen of South Africa. Please do, guys. Subscribe. We're on the road to 80. Yes. I still said uh any other number after 1,000 subscribers is a vanity matrix. And I want the vanity matrix. Let's hit that 80,000 subscribers. Why can't we get to 80? The big 80K. Okay, let me hit the like button as the court pleases, my lord. That's right. Inside, da 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 da. Baba. Oh no, we can't do this one because he doesn't want to be known as Ubaba Ntanzi. We can't ignore that. So no, that is not going to happen. I thought I said that already in my comment section. Jacob Nare. Thank you. You can tell I've been on holiday, right? Guys, thank you so much. We missing Jobs. What do you mean you missing Jobs? Jobs posted a video yesterday. We missing Jobs and sis. Okay. I stand corrected. I'm sorry. I jumped the gun. Yes, we definitely missing Jobs and sis Pat, but I think Jobs is doing good. He's holding the fort. I mean, he's mentioned over there at the Madlanga. He's got an honorary mention at the Madlanga. Let's listen to. I was going to say Danzi, but no, that would be wrong. Let's listen to SA Infotainment, and then I will be back with the rest of my commentary.
As you don't know about Judge Ratha Mogoeng, a lot of you guys have complained about his inability to have, or at least give the accused a fair trial. I actually did my research and I found that there is actually enough evidence for the judge to recuse himself. In fact, I found that people don't even need to file for that. Already there is enough evidence for Judge Ratha Mogoeng to remove himself. He knows that. But we need to understand who's Judge Ratha Mogoeng first, because some people don't understand who are we dealing with. Now, Judge Ratha Mogoeng graduated from the University of Fort Hare, and he was admitted an attorney in 1976. He became an acting judge in 2002 and was appointed a full-time judge in 2007. Then later on, he then retired. We know the cases that he was once involved in, such as the case of Richard Mdluli, the Lerato Sengati, Double HP's customary wife or widow. We all know about that. But that's just a brief, just a brief. But who is Judge Ratha Mogoeng? Now, I want to remind you of incidents that have occurred in SA where you will remember that there was something. You remember when Judge Ratha made those remarks about black lawyers? And now today I want to show you something where all of these things are going. It was around 2025 where Judge Ratha makes those remarks about black lawyers. Later on, he then decided to withdraw that statement. And but we'll talk about the withdrawal of Zelo and the apology, what it means legally. Because I was doing my research as well. I was like, what it means for him to actually legally withdraw those statements. Don't worry. Now, according to my information, I found that Section 165, bracket 2 of the Constitution of South Africa requires that a court be independent, impartial, and subject only to the Constitution and the law. A judge making racial differentiated assumption about lawyers' professionalism based on their race breaches this section. This is the first section. This is the first part of the law, Section 165, bracket 2, where the judge is now found himself wanting. But before I proceed, let's start here. If you're not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Come on, good people, because to subscribe it is free. To like the video, it is free. To comment.
I know that you guys are already subscribed, right? So please go ahead, hit that subscription button. Make sure you're subscribed to Witness You, and also to SA Infotainment, because we work hard behind the scenes. This is my colleague. We work hard behind the scenes to bring you all this commentary. And we just ask for the simple things, not the finer things in life. No. We are not asking for a Gucci, a Lamborghini. No. We're just asking for a subscription. That's all. Subscription, a like, and the comments. Comments are my all-time favorites. So don't forget to hit that subscription button. And then it is not over, even if the judge says so. Okay, he's back.
Remember that during the time when there was going to be a combat marathon.
I definitely
think it was
remember.
2025 towards June or so. Advocate Mnisi wants to have, or he wants to.
Wait, let me say it because I remember it. Okay. Advocate Nisi asked for the bare minimum. Okay. Again, he didn't ask for a Lamborghini. He didn't ask for the finer things in life. He just asked, hey, on the Monday after the Comrades Marathon, I can't be here because I would have just finished running the Comrades Marathon. As a judge who is also from the athletics background, you would understand that the body will be bodying. But because I'm a responsible defense attorney, I just want you to know I will be driving back. So I will just be missing that day. He didn't ask for a week adjournment. He didn't ask for anything. In fact, he didn't ask for an adjournment. He said, I won't be there because I will be driving. I will be driving back, meaning he'll be inside party within the court on the very next day. I want to remind you, Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda asked to go on study leave. And my Lord granted it without hesitation, without documentation, without validation. And thank goodness Shalolo rose to the occasion and she said, where have you heard that? Which labor law, which company allows someone to go indefinitely on a study leave? He must produce the exam schedule and we will adjourn on those specific days. And that is how Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda on page 283 of Paul O'Sullivan's book, Over Extended Leave of Absence from the Court of Law, was denied. But if it was not for the defense objecting, it was already granted. Nisi asked for a day, one, not 2, not 16, not 24, 1 day to not be in the court. My Lord had a gasket. Well, he blew his gasket. He lost it. He went all in. And he said the most. So let's listen to. So it was a Monday. It was just a 1 day. I wanted to explain that a little bit of information. Let me know in the comment section if you are also part of Comrades this year.
He wants to go and do, what is it, Comrade Marathon. He wants to go and run marathon. You remember the remarks by Judge Ratha. He says, this is what happened in South Africa. This is what happened in a South Africa run by blacks. I can tell you now, even if you call me Uncle Tom, I don't think a white advocate will ever have the gall to ask me that. Never. What are the constitutional consequences of that? You remember that that story even went to parliament and people commented about that thing, that it was actually inappropriate for him to do that. What is the next thing legally? I found that under Judicial Service Commission Act 9 of 1994 and the Code of Judicial Conduct, judges must at all times display dignity, courtesy, and patience. Making racial charged generalizations from the bench is a direct violation of this code and potentially of the Promotion of Equality and Prevention of Fair Discrimination Act.
You heard it live from witness Essay Infotainment. Sorry, not witness. You heard it live from my colleague. It is a direct violation. Absolutely direct. It's so direct of a violation that it is shocking that he said such things and he said, I don't care if you call me an Uncle Tom. What he did not know, what he did not predict was when he got home, his wife said, what did you say? Say it again. Say it again, and I want you to say it louder. I want to hear you say it to my face. And that was the day he found out his wife is not afraid of him, according to his own accounts, in a country where GBV is so high. The most blackest judge, the most seniorest judge, tells us that he found out he used to think his wife was afraid of him, only to find her having English, wow. Only to find her, waiting, for him to say, I can't be having my friends calling me and telling me that you're embarrassing me on this TV streets. I can't be having YouTubers speaking so negatively about a man I lay down with. It can't be. You cannot. You will return to that courtroom and apologize. So for me, from where I was sitting that day until today, okay, I haven't accepted the apology because he said he apologized because his wife told him to apologize. He didn't say I apologize. And then he even added, some people might have found it offensive. To those who found it offensive, he still didn't recognize where the offense was. So there's a saying, I love to say it often. It says, when someone shows you who they are the first time, don't wait for the second time, don't wait for the third. When somebody shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Believe them in that he already told us. And then in 2026, less than a year later, just a few months later, he now says, I'm the most senior black judge, okay? Can't tell me nothing. I am it. I am the best that could ever be. You see, this is what happens when you become big-headed, for lack of a better phrase. You see, they called him back from retirement. One would have thought that's a very special thing. Do you know someone else who they called from retirement? I know you can answer this one with ease. Let me know in the comment section. I'll wait. Let me know who else has been called from retirement, and then we will do a comparison, compare and contrast assignment. Who else has been? Who else has returned from retirement? Well, they didn't quite make it to retirement. They knew they were going to retire and they were told that retirement dream is just that, a dream. Your next assignment. I can't believe you guys don't know. Madlanga. Justice Madlanga. He was supposed to go to retirement, just like Shamila Batoy. But he was already informed, yeah, as soon as you retire, my friend. There's also the police minister. Well, the acting police minister, Kachalia. He was also another one who was told, hold on with those retirement dreams of yours, okay? He was phoned on the 6th of July 2025 after, no, not that date exactly, but we know it was after that. And then the president tried to call him, and the nation was waiting because the president had said there's a family meeting, and they kept trying to call Kachalia, but Kachalia doesn't really look at his notifications like that until they finally found him because they needed to tell him, listen, next month, Ziakara, okay? You are now the police minister, okay? Yes, that's right. Judge, Justice Madlanga. And just look at the type of justice that he is and how he conducts himself. Why can't the judge be of humility? Where is the Ubuntu? Eh, It's so sad. It's really sad to watch him display this. But anyway, it's all on record. Yeah, me, I listen. It's on record. We can also put it on a t-shirt. It's there. We're not making it up. We're not cooking. It is not AI. You said it yourself, my lord. Did you guys notice that mainstream media did not cover his second attempt, his second racial statement? They did not. But thank goodness. What did Umkonaze say? Thank goodness for mainstream media. Uh-huh. Let's give Main Street no. Hell no. Let's give independent media a round of applause. And that's not just Mzansi Unfiltered. That's to all the channels that are out here spreading updates, information, opinions, forming a safe space for us to communicate about this trial. And just so we're clear, I don't look for people to agree with me all the time. Not at all. I just look for us to have engaging, respectful conversations. That's all. And sometimes I am convinced to switch my opinion based on what you guys put in the comments. Like now, I was just going to do one simple t shirt line, and you guys said, oh no, we've got a lot to say. Okay. And I have to listen. I must listen. I listen. Okay. So, where else? What else are these comments saying? Wait, let me do a quick check in. Mr. Mr. Wait, mainstream media is long time dead. Can you imagine? Don't get me started on 500 rands. 500 rands. You can't even say thank you. Sis. And where is she now? Where is she now? I encourage her to open a YouTube channel. Okay? Because you can put your journalistic skills to use on these YouTube streets, be part of independent media, and make more than 500 rands a month. Like, Sergeant Kosi, shame on you though. 500 rands only? When you are in possession of 380,000 rands cash, let me tell you something, Kulugutus are the most stingiest people of the money that they except Cat. Cat was a very generous Mkulugutu. He was out there BBLing. He was out there paying for sex. What was it? Ozempic. He was also out there he was out paying for everything. He was doing the most. He was doing the most, having extra girlfriends, on and off again. Sir, he has 9 children. They have the blue lights. Cat Matlala was generous. Okay, he was even a brother to Where is Julius? Where is Julius? No, not Malema. He's also got a date in the court. You guys know, right? He's got it, and that magistrate better not read for 5 days. Okay, we are busy. There are many court cases. She better not be planning to read for 65 days, because this is gonna be a lot. Long story short, where is Julius Mkonazi? Of no relation to Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkonazi. I think it's very important we make that distinction. Okay, Dan, I don't like Musa, but shame on Natasha. The people have no friends. I never thought a day would come where we would have to stand with Musa Kaula. I actually am still supposed to do a video on Sergeant Gosi and Natasha and Musa. But it's like, how do I speak in the positive of Musa? Do you see where my struggle is? So it's interesting. And then I got to talk about Ze, Numalo, and It's just a lot. That whole thing, because I have the transcripts. I have 1,000 page transcripts, and just reading them is just it's just shocking. It's just so interesting. So we also have Umpumi. Umpumi says, Umpumi Uzwane. I wonder why the most senior guys, you have to understand that as independent media doesn't mean you can independently write your comments and then trap me to say things that you are thinking, and then I will be held accountable. So I'm gonna edit that a little bit. Okay, wait. I wonder why the most senior judge didn't make it to the Constitutional Court to be part of the Gucci. Right? Their gowns are definitely giving Gucci green and red. You, Mpumi, okay, you in the internet today. That Gucci gang comment is hilarious. Yeah, he's so senior, but he never quite made it. In fact, he was an acting judge for many, many years. He forgot to tell us that little bit of information. He's acting like he was a judge. No, he was acting for multiple years. Why were you acting if you are so senior? Hmm? What was it about your actations that they said no? You be acting, okay? You just keep acting. Encantolo. Yes, I like that one. So let me see. Dun, da, da, da. Let me see which other comment. Like Omnisibin Vudla said, I am still here. He's still here. He's gonna go for his comrades marathon. I wonder if he's gonna go this year. Those that placed Judge Ratha where he is now are making good use of his ego. How? How? We are in this mess because of them. This is all their fault. We have to face it day in, day out. Just so you know, tomorrow we are there at Eagleville. We'll be there at Eagleville. And it's like, man, we had 2 weeks. It was Easter. Jesus rose again. The tomb is empty. And then jiggy jiggy ego. Hmm? We are out here worried about Surgeon Gossi, and if we need to keep that man alive. In fact, they need to put him on a fattening diet. He needs to be alive. We need him singing in the national choir. Okay, he needs to sing the national anthem daily. Okay, he needs to give us more details. The only man who was ever at Madlanga Commission for 8 days. Not even Shadrach Joseph Sevilla hit 8 days. Okay, so let's continue.
You see, we have a black person that can be charged of discrimination other black people. That's going to be interesting. When I thought about it, I was like, that's going to be interesting. Huh? That's going to be interesting. Now, we move to another incident as well. Do you remember when Judge Ratha had an exchange with Advocate Ms? Do you remember him saying, shut up? Do you know that thing is wrong? Okay. There was a point where Advocate Ms, where Judge Ratha says, you shut up. I am making the remarks. Ms replied, thank you, my lord. I will shut up. Yes. Why do you think Nisi emphasized on those words? Why? Do you remember that people even said that I'm really disappointed to see a judge speaks like that in a courtroom. No matter how tense the trial gets, a judge should remain professionalism and respect at all time. When a person meant to uphold fairness starts losing composure, it raises serious questions. Do you remember somebody says that and could say that in Newsroom Africa? What does it have to do with the law? According to what I also found is that Rule 3 of the ethical standard of the South African Judicial, which requires judges to maintain dignity and composure at all times, to treat all persons appearing before the court with courtesy and respect. I have actually, do you see where we're going with this? You find that, Hemarod, hey, our Judge Buffett, our Judge Buffett. You check this, he's found wanting. You check that, he's found wanting. You check this, he's found wanting. You check that, he's found wanting. So I was looking at all of those things, right? But do you remember Judge Ratha arguing with Advocate Shololo? Do you remember that? Maybe you don't. Maybe I need to put that video here. All right. Judge Ratha reprimanded Advocate Mshololo, and I remember those back and forth, right? Do you remember those back and forth?
I know you remember the back and forth. But today we're doing a revision. This is our revision for our assignment that is due tomorrow at 10 a.m. What was the back and forth between Judge Ratha and Advocate Shalolo, the sole female in that case? What was it? Well, there was once Rose. Rose! But then Rose left. And then came Ashley. Ashley became the judge's confidant. He came into the courtroom and told the judge, let me tell you something, Ngomezulu is in the court premises. The very next day, we were singing funeral songs for Ngomezulu. But we're not there. We're not there. What is it that the judge said to Shalolo? And Shalolo said, it can't be. Can't be. Not me. I've never been there in my life. There, I gave you a clue. What is it? Dun da da da. Are you guys in bed? Are you guys watching from bed? Why are you not typing? Okay, fine. It had to do with the Tarvin. Do you remember? The judge telling Shololo she can't scream. Like she's inside Pagati within the Tarvin. There we go. I got it right. The Tarvin. Yes. Who's protecting the so-called National Court? Protecting them from what? From being arrested? Or they have police protection. You know, Gininda has a threat on his life. And he's now got protection because he needs all day protection because he doesn't feel safe. So wait. I remember Kwanazi saying at the ad hoc committee, I think it was at the ad hoc committee, he said, hey, you know what? I don't need protection. I don't have to worry about myself. I know how to use a firearm. I can protect myself. You got to worry about yourselves. So we're on our own. Meanwhile, Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Kininde has got all day security. Sir, your name is mentioned everywhere. At this point, we need a Kininde inquiry. Okay, just inquiry all his cases. At this point, put all the dockets to the forefront because as members of the public jury, we're tired. We're tired of seeing your name, okay? We go to other courtrooms to pay attention there and then Brigadier Kininde. No, not Brigadier Kininde on page 283 of Paula's side. No, it can't be him again. How do you think he reacts when he hears his name? Keep in mind, this man worked so hard to be invincible. He worked so hard to have no image of him. Do you think he was giving mainstream media 500 rands not to show his image? Because until Paul O'Sullivan book, until General Patlane, we got to shake his hand. General Patlane said, let me tell you something. Let's all turn to page 283. There's Paul O'Sullivan. And that is Gininda. That was our first sighting of Gininda. And the irony is Lieutenant General Hlanhla Mkhwanazi did his press briefing on the 6th of July, 2025. Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda did his whole Ant-Man appearance at the inspection in Loco on the 4th. On the 4th of July. Did you guys know that? Little did he know. Paul O'Sullivan, who flew him to the Czech Republic, was about to expose his identity, which was already exposed for years and years and years. Yes. Until we got to page 283. Patlane said, turn to page 283. See the man himself. And I, personally, I'll forever be grateful to General Patlane for that because we deserve to see what Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda, who is everywhere. What exactly does this man look like? The man who allegedly abducted Ubabuzum. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's continue on. So that's what happened between the judge and Shololo, and then what?
I don't think I need to remind you of what happened. Right. But you do remember what happened. So I found that there's what we call it apprehension bias that can trigger a recusal application under President of the South Africa versus South African Rugby Union 1999. Where, now listen to this, and I want to emphasize this, listen to this, where the Constitutional Court held that a reasonable apprehension of bias is sufficient ground to remove a judge. And I want you to remember this. According to, and let me say it again, I have found that according to the constitution of this country, there is a case law, which is the South African president versus South African Rugby Union 1999, where the Constitutional Court held that a reasonable apprehension of bias is sufficient ground to remove a judge. In other words, if there is a reasonable ground for Judge Ratha Mogoatleng to be removed on the basis of him being biased, once we establish that, he can literally get removed. When I found that case, I was like, wow. Do you remember Judge Ratha Mogoatleng saying, there was a time where Advocate Mnisi was challenging, was it Kroplane, where Judge Ratha Mogoatleng challenged him to appeal his ruling if he did not agree with it. And then further that he said that if you don't, in fact, he have said it multiple times, that if you don't agree with my ruling, you will appeal it. Here's a problem: impartiality and openness to legal argument. Where does it stand in Judge Ratha's court? I found that judge who openly dare party to appeal instead of engaging in substantive or with legal submission is exhibiting close-mindedness, which is a recognized ground for recusal under South African common law. A judge must at all times demonstrate that they are genuinely open to persuasion by legal argument. So when they choose to shut themselves up and then say, you must appeal my judgment, what does it mean? And these days I'm doing quite a lot of studying about this case. For me, it's very interesting. And then you've got the issue of the very same Judge Ratha Mogoatleng about what is it called? About the racial outburst. I actually found that there is something that they call it legal consent, right? Where a recusal application, the judge himself, if he considered that a reasonable apprehension of bias existed under the test in BTR Industries, South Africa Pty versus Metal and Allied Workers Union 1992. Once such an apprehension is reasonably established, a judge is obliged to recuse, not merely invited to do so. Now, listen to this. What I'm simply saying is, I found a case law where it says, let me repeat. I found that there's a case law that says, under the test in BTR Industry versus let me repeat. I found that there's a case study which is under the test in BTR Industry South Africa Pty Ltd versus Metal and Allied Workers Union in 1992. It was said, or the Constitution or the courts, they held and made this remark that once such an apprehension reasonably established, a judge is obliged to recuse himself, not merely invited to do so. In other words, the judge should not wait to be recused. Once we establish these things, the judge should do the right thing and remove himself from the case. You will tell me, what have you learned?
A judge should what? Remove himself. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Court is back in session. Will we have the most senior black judge recusing himself? What has been happening in the background? What else has Mzansi been doing? Because let me tell you something, that's another underdog. Okay, we're not going to see him coming again. Advocate George Malloy would have gained weight just in 2 weeks because he hasn't been sweating. He hasn't been sweating under the guise of my lord, it's so hot. Can we adjourn for the day? No, because Mzansi was giving him a run for his money. Take a look at Advocate George Valoy when he's doing his evidence in chief or cross examination of a witness. Has he ever spent so much time whispering with the good doctor? I've never seen Advocate George Valoy whisper this much. In fact, all he would say is beam, picture, whatever. It was never. And anytime that the good doctor whispers over to him, by the way, I have put the link again. Please try it again. If it's not working, I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why. Or you can call into the channel. Yeah. So let me know. Try the link again. It should be working. We want to hear from the horse's mouth. Yes, with the horse on our screen. We want to hear what he has to say, what led him to go down this rabbit hole and investigate a senior judge. How dare you? How dare you investigate a senior judge and come back with case laws that prove that he has racial bias? And it's the weirdest thing to speak of racial bias. It's called black on black crime. There's nothing worse than black on black crime. Have you ever felt how much your family member hurts you? If your family member does something, you'll talk about it for a year. If your neighbor does the same thing, it's like, ah, whatever, water off my back. So this is black on black uh, crime that we are witnessing. Let me put away this. It's black on black crime. Are you joining? This black on black crime that we are watching, and the good judge, the senior judge, the one who is above even the Gucci gang at the Constitutional Court. He is more senior than all of them combined. All of them together do not add up to his experience. So, therefore, in other words, what he said, the thing is, me, I listen. What he basically said and told the nation is, I'm tired of hearing about you guys and your damn appeal. I'm tired of this appeal. What you don't understand is that for you to appeal, you must be granted the appeal by myself. You have not been granted the appeal. You can come with your application just like the other time. It was the 174 application. Ngumalo took the bait. He put in the application for accused number 4. Shout out to Mapisa. Have you noticed he's barely mentioned in Danzi's cross examination? Like, I don't know. If I was him, I'd be like, can I just be excused? I'll be like, Nandi Pamaguduman's father and make an application. Like, listen, can I just come when it's my turn? Because, man, this is a lot. This is a lot of information to digest, and none of it has anything to do with me. And the funny thing is, one would be tempted to think that Advocate Tilani Joshua, no, sorry, I mentioned the wrong advocate. Advocate Unmumalo Uztilele, yes, Langagazwite, him. One would be tempted to say he's not paying attention in court, but he's there. He's present. He's inside Pagati. Oh my goodness. I've been yapping and yapping away, and you guys have been sitting in the background. Why were you not jumping up and down and letting me know you're there?
How you
I
doing? You
apologize.
guys, no, it's okay. How you feeling?
I'm great, thank you. I'm great. How are you?
Okay. No, I'm good. Um,
Welcome, welcome, and
yeah.
welcome as. Did you type yourself as witness you?
Me? No.
Hi, Dan. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay. You know me. I'm Dan. Long time uh follower. No, I just wanted to make a comment. One about the that I made about the cold case, the so-called National Cold Case Unit. The thing that you was reading earlier is starting to make sense to me because Ganinda is not like the top name, but he's like one of the top conflicted names that we keep hearing across all the spectrums, you know. And this cold case unit could, like, looking into them could look into something even deeper. So when I said who's protecting them, I mean, like, we're hearing the Ganinda name and all of this stuff, but we're not hearing people being called from that unit to the commission or to the ad hoc or the Nkabinde inquiry and all of that. So it's like I feel like they've they've called anyone else that they've wanted to call, but they're not calling that one. You know, it's mind-boggling to me. But then when you read what you're reading about, I guess somebody, like I don't know if he's on the president's side or what, if he's in that circle, but if somebody handed him a bag or something that had to do with the president, that kind of explains, you know, that kind of like untouchable circle. So maybe that is the reason why, you know, the same reason why they're not touching this guy from the Big Five. I'm bad with that name, but he's just
Keith?
guy that, huh? Say the
Keith,
name?
is it? Keith?
No, no, with the M. He's like the top guy who implicated him,
Oh,
and then
Mzansi.
they said it. No, not the
No.
one that passed. Is he's somebody they said, yeah, he's one of those, but yeah, he's one of those. So let's not, you know.
Oh, Mtagati. Guys, confirm in the comment section down below. I think it's Mtagati.
You might
But
be right, you know, but just to make the point that why is he? It feel like he's one of those names that just can't be brought up, and I feel like there's enough to bury him with this case or that case or this thing, and he's not even like, as far as we know, allegedly a citizen. So it's like there's so much here, but if he's tied to the president in that circle, then that might answer something for me. But what I know I'm going too fast, but I like to just get it out. But what I really wanted to, what I really wanted to talk about, it's been hurting me now for a couple of weeks now, and it's like, what I was asking myself, what happened to Warrant Officer Makubo? Because I seen somebody else type it in the chat, and I'm like, I'm thinking the same thing. And then the thing comes up that, you know, he's been threatened and all of that. Listen, I'm 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 one of those, especially for him too. I'm glad he's made it. I'm so happy he's made it this far, and I'm worried for his safety completely. I'm worried about his safety. But I'm extremely disappointed, especially him being a police officer, to allow himself to be intimidated. I understand how effective these people are that he's talking about. I'm not saying he's weak or anything like that. I'm not insulting him, but it's like there are people, there are women and normal citizens that are being hunted and threatened, and over 15 years. Like, I mean, look at Sis Pat, you know, she's making a living just, you know, making the right steps and everything, and she's just a citizen. And this is a whole police officer who has enough to help this case go where it needs to go despite the threats. And I think like, I'm just calling for him to be just a little more brave. I know he's got a family, he's worried for his life. I'm not against any of that, but it's like he's such a critical part, and it's like he could have came during the leading case of the first accused. He could have came during the second accused, but I'm like, those were the best times, because those were when state witnesses were coming to say, no, the state is lying, no, George Beloy is lying. Then he could have came with the nice cherry on top. See, there's this whole thing of defeating ends from the police and the investigators. That would have been so perfect. But now he's allowed himself to be you know, put in a corner, and it's like they've mentioned him on another inquiry. I feel like they need to, and I don't want to seem inconsiderate, you know, I don't want to seem like I'm being inconsiderate, but it's like they need to subpoena him. If he has to come to answer for a whole nother situation, which will, how do you say, which will, I don't know, join the dots, then to make him come to talk to this, if he has to go somewhere else to talk about 375, so that 375 opens up for the Meyiwa trial, then so be it. I think they need to subpoena him then, because if he's not going to come willingly, then, you know, make him come somewhere. He got to come somewhere, man. I mean, I'm worried for him, and I want him to do it, but that's who we need right now, because these people are still putting on broadcast talking about the state has a good case and they're doing a good job. Come on, man. Nobody believes that nonsense. All you need is, oh, come on, man. We need this guy to just, please. I'm not saying he's a coward, but he needs to be more brave. I'm doing the opposite. I'm just calling for him, you know. But that's the other thing that I wanted to say.
Thank you for that. So, we're just going to interrupt your commentary with an ad break. So, first of all, number one, let's go ahead and thank Utami, yes, eThekwini, the tiny little province of KZN, just became a brand new member. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the family. We absolutely love it. Thank you for financially supporting the channel. And then, you know what, Steve Mutsumi, it's not me who is saying the name aloud onto this platform, independent media. I'm just reading the comments. Okay. Then the name is Mutsumi, not, what did I say? Not
Oh, thank you. Okay.
me. Yeah, that's the name, Tammy. Welcome, Tammy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so excited to have you, and thank you so much for joining in. So to answer, let's go. Let me respond to Warrant Officer Makubo. What you said about him, why he is not joining, and also what else did you say? Yeah, basically why they didn't call him. They should have called him with Umuzisibia, and why have they not called him with Untanzi? Well, quite frankly, Ntanzi is still on the stand. So, no, he's not still on the stand. No, no, no. He's stuck on the stand. He's glued. It's going to be another long while. George Bello is not done with him. He's yet to drag. Guys, can you actually imagine? They're still, like Ntanzi has been on the stand, being cross examined much longer than Sergeant Gosi, who was 8 days at the Madlanga Commission, and those 8 days were enough for him to be arrested. But we're not there, okay? So why has Warrant Officer Makubo as a strategy of the defense? I don't know. I have no idea. But if I apply my mind and I think about it, the first time that he came, he was not treated as a high ranking SAPS officer. Yes, he's a warrant officer, but that means he's a commissioned officer. So that's why I say he's high ranking. He might be lower than Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Kininda. However, my lord treated him less than. Actually, Warrant Officer Makuvo is a warrant officer. What am I trying to say? He's a warrant officer. Zungunaiza is a constable, meaning he is ranked lower. But Zungunaiza is held at the highest esteem by the most senior black judge. He's held with white gloves. He's even given an escort to go and get his notes in KZN. And when he comes back and says he doesn't have them, my lord already has a judgment before he says, I don't have them. The judgment is there, it's ready. So, what more? So, I think the defense already notices that Makubo is not going to strengthen their case with the judge, who says he is not biased, who says he hasn't made a ruling. But one thing I do is look at body language. His body language when the defense is talking, any objection, anything they say is so dismissive. I've seen in the comment section some of you guys write, he doesn't even write anything. But watch how he scribbles when it's advocate judge. He's running out of pens and papers. Ashley has to run and go and get a refill because he has so much to write down. So I think, as much as for us, the public jury, Warrant Officer Makubo is a strong witness, I don't think the defense team think he will help their case. In fact, he would be a distraction. That's what I think. I could be wrong. Don't hold me to it. It's just my analysis because, yes, they did not call him when Muzisibia was giving his defense, and even when his last witness absconded, they did not. So Warrant Officer Makubo was also mentioned at the, and I have to drop off in 2 minutes. He was also mentioned at the Nkabinde inquiry. I didn't quite watch it. I thought I was going to watch it when I jumped in to watch it because there was going to be, I think it's also Warrant Officer Boysen's testimony, and then there was all this back and forth, and then they adjourned for the day because the witness, they had to fly to Cape Town to get her new state. I was like, oh man. So I didn't watch the Nkabinde inquiry, but basically on that day, um, Warrant Officer Nkabinde, no, not Nkabinde, Warrant Officer Makubo was mentioned, and they were saying that's when they mentioned that the lawyer was afraid and they're afraid for their lives, they're receiving threats. I mean, it's been a lot. A lot has been happening while Untanzi has been kept on the stand. Someone also put in the comments, and I've seen it several times, that Ntanzi being on the stand endlessly asked the same questions over and over again, just different format, is also a delay tactic. While, as you know, the cold drink unit is still investigating the case. I don't know if we should call it investigating or they're still threatening witnesses. I don't know if you know the Namtlam Twa case from the Eastern Cape. Um, the judiciary paused the case for a whole year. And in that year, all, not some, all witnesses were terminated. They are no longer alive. So is that something that is happening? So we already saw that one witness absconded for Umuzi. We don't know where this is going to go with Danzi because he's stuck on the stand. Advocate George Malloy refuses. And I saw the comment, someone said they also want a t-shirt that says, me and my Melly, okay? Me and my lawyer. I love it so much. So we're still waiting because Danzi has promised us heat with the re-examination. Go ahead, Dan. I'm done.
No, you're absolutely right. I agree. He was mentioned, and but Ntanzi, he's gonna be on that stand for about, I predict, for about at least another 2 weeks. Below, just gonna fumble and make some more own goals. But I still maintain. I think the critical piece was, like, no matter what the defense can, I mean, they're working with a lot of moving parts. So I see if they feel he's not coming, then they can strengthen their case other ways. But he's an officer, and we heard Ganinda and we heard the judge himself say, oh, such and such is an officer, as if they're bolstering their arguments, meaning they're making their testimony that more relative just because, Constable Zungu is an officer and he's made statements, and Ganinda is such this reputable officer. So what about Warrant Officer Makubo? If he comes and he lays down the basis of 375 and everything, I still think that's that's the final blow. Everything after that will be scrutinized and questioned that comes from the state. All the late evidence, all of this and that. So that's where I maintain. But I hear
Well,
you though.
one thing that we need to agree upon is that the defense needs to make sure that they bring it onto the record that just because you're an officer doesn't mean you are the best thing since ice cream or sliced bread. They should mention examples. Shadrach Sevilla is on suspension because of questionable behavior. A whole sergeant is now arrested, might not be convicted, but still, why is he arrested? He's not arrested for domestic violence, beating up his wife, anything non-related to his job. He's arrested and found in possession of things he shouldn't be in possession of as a SAPS member. So this whole argument that Zungunaiza is an officer of the court, no, it doesn't work like that. Not from where I'm sitting and not what we're hearing at the Madlanga Commission. In fact, every police that keeps on being mentioned, it's just a continuous
Well,
session where we find out about things that they're doing. It's all shocking. So yeah,
well, they didn't say he was an officer of the court. They said, he's a police officer. Like the way they said it, they say it to say that it's worth, like his statement is worth more than, anything it's written on. But let them keep it because, again, the argument, and that's why they had commissions, is that there's corruption in the police. So despite their rank, so let them investigate, with the understanding that a police officer's word is true. Let them investigate Sabia, because what was he when he came to the scene? Was he a SAPS member, or was he a employee of Joburg at the time? And then let them go into 375. What did these officers say? Who should be charged for defeating?
okay. So I do apologize. I have to end this live literally.
Thank you, Lady MU. I don't know if you can hear me, but I think you went a little
Oh,
mute.
yes, I went on mute. I think I went on mute mid-sentence. Silly me. So I do apologize. I have to end this live mid-sentence. We did not have SA Infotainment join us, unfortunately. Tech glitches. That truly sucks. But I appreciate you joining us, Dan, and giving us your commentary. So we're on the lookout for Warrant Officer Makubo. Let me read Maga Sandra's comment. Makubo was humiliated by that judge. Yeah, He was. So I don't see how it would be any different. So the judge don't think it will be nice that Ratha is ready to attack. He's probably practiced how he's going to attack everything he says, and embarrassing the defense's witness. So no, I don't see him coming. I know he's ready to come. I know he wants to come, and I know he's going to bring the heat. But don't forget, the biggest bone of contention between the judge and Warrant Officer Makubo is Warrant Officer Makubo is going to speak badly about the judge's favorite firstborn. You know how it is. You cannot speak badly about Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Keninda. Anything Keninda says, even the fact that he drove to KZN, the judge doesn't believe it. There's no way he would do such a thing on a weekend. Huh? Have you called Keninda to confirm this? How are you speaking on his behalf? Do you know what I mean? So it's a very, very wishy washy. And I think, in my opinion, from where I'm sitting, I think the defense did the right thing. Because why bring a witness who the judge has already showed you his colors? The judge has already said, not interested. Try something else. This one is not going to work. So that's my opinion on the matter. Ladies and gentlemen, this was fun. I absolutely hate to end the live so abruptly. I see your comments. We need to hear from Bata. Who's Bata again? Oh, what relevance is he going to bring to the topic? That he was falsely arrested. Bata is the first person who was arrested. It's an interesting point. What relevance is he going to bring? How was he arrested?
Because
Now,
he sent it out by Makumalo.
but how is it going to help this case? Because he has his own case and he has his own millions just waiting for this case to conclude.
Because I think Zandi pointed him out too. I think that's why, and she already went out to say that it was in Tanzi as well. So I think that's the link. I could be wrong.
I see, I see, I see. I'm listening. I'm listening. I don't see it though. I don't I think with this judge, whoever they call, it has to be strategic because they only have his attention for so long. And it's also for the record, right? You can take me up on appeal. Just put it on the record, I guess. I guess he could come, but he would come under who? Danzi, I guess, because he was also pointed out. He was pointed out, arrested, but he's not cleared.
Oh, I don't think he should be called. No, I was just saying why he was mentioned in the comments. I don't think he would do any justice for the defense, and the judge probably wouldn't allow it anyway because he's not in this docket. You see, he would only allow what's in this docket. So I don't think he would be called.
Okay. So, my call hasn't come in, but go ahead. We have Mass in the room. How are you? Please go ahead, briefly introduce yourself and let us know what you think of today's live. Mass. Hello.
Hi, hi, Dan. Hi, MU.
What's up, brother?
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good, and thanks. The reason I'm entering the house is because of the fact that you are talking about Mbata and Makubo. I think Makubo is the most important witness that has to be called. I think Nisi missed the opportunity there because remember the accused number one, Muzi, he was the one who was arrested and exonerated by Makubo because when he was arrested, the Zungunized, he's the one who was lying, and then Makubo said, no, the person that you are talking about is being arrested by me and is not part and parcel of the case. So I think Munisi there missed the opportunity to exonerate accused number one from this case based on Makubo. What Ratha thinks of Makubo, for now, it's not important because even this guy, Makosong, Ratha showed that he doesn't believe them. Even Absolute Zungu, Ratha shows that he doesn't believe them. Gwabini, Ratha shows that he doesn't believe them. He tried everything just to make sure that their testimony are useless based on what they said. So even Makubo, everything we just want to put it on record, so that he's saying, take me to appeal. So that when we go to appeal, we know that we called everyone. Mbata, he's going to help the case by saying Zandi is not a trusted witness because these people pointed me that I am the one who unalive Senzo, knowing me very well that I'm the one who was coming here washing his car. So you cannot trust these people. So even Tanz, it's just pointing him, but she's not reliable. So for Mbata to come to court is just to dismiss the testimony of Nzandi and Togo and Tumelo. So I think Mbata is the most important witness that can come and help this case. We all know that the judgment is written somewhere there, and when the defense are poking holes in state case, that is why the presiding officer is becoming agitated, because of when you show those loopholes, it makes that judgment null and void. That is why even section 175 of accused number 4, the judgment, the presiding officer, he came with a new story. He lied. In fact, he was supposed to be arrested by now. He was supposed to be arrested because instead of giving judgment, he came and lied and give new new testimony. Everything was new in that judgment of his. So he was supposed to be arrested. So that's why that's what I wanted to say about the presiding officer and Makubo and witness the Mbata. They have to come. Maybe Makubo will still come. Maybe Mushololo will call Makubo because of, remember, he said accused number 5. He's the one who arrested accused number 5. So maybe Makubo will still come under accused number 5.
I heard your submissions, and they'll be taken into consideration. Does anyone want to submit on Bata as well? And let's also take an opportunity to welcome Mr. Masuku in the room. We are in this mess because of the video he posted, which is I will take you up on appeal. So, yeah, warm welcome. And yeah, let's hear from other submissions as well. Oh, by the way, I moved my meeting so we can keep going.
Oh, thank you for that. No, for the sake of the record, then that's true. I agree with that. I suppose Mbata should come as well. That makes a lot of sense. You want to strengthen your case, when the judge lays the decision that he already wrote.
Yeah, I appreciate the detailed submissions from Mass. Guest of honor, are you going to unmic? Are you here? SA Infotainment? Going once? Going twice? We're going to auction your position.
Yes, guys, I don't know. I don't even know if you guys can hear me. I don't know what's going on here. Can you
We
hear
are
me?
hearing you. Yes, we're hearing you loud and clear.
For the first time, yes, I struggle to. Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes, we
I
can hear
can
you.
hear
Good
you.
day, sir. How you doing, Bone?
Oh, nah. Ay, sure, guys. I don't know what's going on. I've been wanting to be like with you guys. Oh, I don't know what is going on. But nevertheless, I'm good, guys. I think, personally, I think that Makobo may come for accused number 5. Remember that part of his testimony is that he knows the whereabouts of accused number 5 then. He knew about it. So he's the one who arrested him. So he had his records. For me, watching this, I was not surprised that they haven't called him. I will only be surprised if he is not called for accused number 5. So I think he's still coming for accused number 5.
Oh, under Shalolo. Okay. Yes, I see where it makes sense to say right away this guy was already inside. So what do you mean he's part of the 5 accused? Therefore dismantling the what's it called? Not conspiracy theory. Where are my words?
I think they are charged with
Common
common purpose.
purpose. Yes, there we go. Thank you. Common purpose. Dismantling the common purpose scenario.
And if you destroy the common purpose scenario, right? It may, because the when I was reading this thing, it says that if people are charged with common purpose, you first need to prove the their activity on the crime scene.
Yes.
All of them. You must place them on the crime scene. All of them. That's number one. Number two, you need to prove that not only were they at the crime scene, but they participated on the activity. Number three, you must prove that they had an intention to participate in all of those things. Though I forgot the number 5. Oh, number 4 is that I think they benefited if there was benefit, something like that. So if accused number 5 calls the police who arrested him, which is Warrant Officer Makobo, and Warrant Officer Makobo gives you details about it, probably
Mm.
including section 205, and says, I used 205 at this date and this date and this date and this date and this date. This person was here. We were following him. We got him arrested on this date. If only you can just take one of the accused out of the equation, the whole thing collapses.
Yes, because yeah, I agree. 100%. So your commentary on Uzamogu Hlembata, I've added him to the witness list, guys. I have a witness list here that we wrote as a community just when Umuzi was about to take the stand. So let me read the entire list. And I don't know why you guys never put Mbata there before, but he's there now. Dr. Mbatani, Secretary, General Lishabane, Warrant. Oh, he was third on the list. Warrant Officer Makubo, Longwe Twala, the neighbors, Umakosonke. That's a check mark because he's come, he's present, he's inside Parati within. Family of Usnako. Yes, I agree. Mapiri, the lady herself, Kwabeni's doctor, Dr. Modises, Fiso Meyiwa. Yeah, he hasn't come yet. Simngovile Mapisa, Nams. Who's Nams? I don't know why I have Nams. I can't remember who that is. Muzi's dad. That one I remember just putting it, but I personally wouldn't call his dad. Frenemies of Senzo, that is the rest that didn't come. Joyce Butelezi, um, who is equivalent to, no, not equivalent, because warrant officer, as you explained, warrant officer Makubo is the one who arrested accused number 5. But I think, yeah, Joyce Buthelezi as well, Dr. Irvin Khoza, Mpekiseni Ntanzi, the brother to Untanzi, Kelly Kumalo, Simpiwe Makeleni, Gladys Kumalo. Some people wanted Mbali because of the credit card. Lungisani Ndwandwe, and there's two other Njiako. And Hlope. Okay, those are the names. That's about 30 people, I think, if I remember correctly, the last time I counted. So I've added Mbata, what's his name? Zamoguhle Mbata to the list. Go ahead.
I think
Oh, yes. No, go ahead.
I think I don't understand, because with all these witnesses, you are trying to find out, okay, so and so, if he's called, what is he going to do? Remember Mbata, he has a claim against the state because he was arrested. I think he's claiming around 7 million.
11
I'm not
million.
sure. 11.
It's 11 million and it grows each year. It grows each year. It's because it's accumulating interest. However, they cannot conclude his case before this trial affirmatively says, yeah, you are not the one. So they're holding him hostage.
Exactly. So if he's testifying, what is he saying on the SENZO MEYIWA case? Because he was just arrested as an accused person, and it is known, and there's litigation around that. So if he's coming to testify, what is he saying?
That
What
was
is he bringing on the
pointed me
table?
out.
Sawubona baba Ntanzi, baba Bongani.
Me and Tanzi, okay, go back.
Sawubona baba Bongani. Look, my friend. Mbata, when he comes, he's destroying the testimony of Zandile Khumalo, because now Zandile Khumalo came to court and point out Danz. So we are trying to say Zandile is not a credible witness, because she Gladys Khumalo, the mother, pointed out Mbata. So these people, they're just pointing out any person. So we are just coming. He's coming there to destroy this pointing out of this accused. So that is why he has to come. People that I don't think they are necessary to come are the girlfriends, especially Mbali and the girlfriend of accused number 2.
Former girlfriends. I'm going to speak on behalf of women. I wouldn't want to be called to come and talk about my ex, and then I'm now a Makotis at another household. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying I know their current status. I think it would be very unfair, in my opinion. It would be very, very unfair. And I really was happy when Bali was not called. I was very happy, in my personal opinion.
Yes.
I have a couple of questions real quick.
And this woman of Ntanzi, because I think somehow they might have accessed her, and once she can come and say something that it's favoring state, then Ntanzi is gone. So I think those women, they have to be avoided at all cost. But others, because before I thought Kelly is going to be the wild card, I thought maybe she's going to come and throw these guys under the bus. But I looked at how Baloyi moves when it comes to these witnesses that he didn't call. He's trying to discredit them. You understand? Instead of, I thought maybe the strategy was to act like he doesn't need them, but he prepared them how they are going to say things so that they can implicate the accused. But how he moves now, I think he neglected them because they were not singing the song that he wanted them to sing. So Kelly, I think under cross-examination, serious cross-examination, she's going to start singing. And Makumalo, that one, she's going to start singing immediately. And the cleaner, the most cleaning company in South Africa, Gladys Mapir, the highest, and somebody that can clean the house to be spotless. She must come. We
You know
need
what's
those
ironic?
skills.
Right now on Netflix, there's a series. It's called The Cleaner, and she literally does Mapiri's job very, very well. So Mapiri
I've
is an
seen it.
inspiration.
I'm watching it now. MU. I'm watching that series now.
You should watch
The
it. It's
cleaner.
really
She's a
good. I
doctor.
love it.
Yeah, but the thing about Mbata is that one should ask himself when, again, because I don't remember, but when did Constable Zungu give his statements to Brigadier Ganinda? And at the same time, when was Mbata like arrested and tried and everything? Because then Mbata could come and also say, "Oh well, you guys were sitting on the state were sitting on information from Constable Zungu that he was with these people and everything, but they still allowed me to be pointed out and arrested and everything." So he could use the state's case, against them in his own case, as well as the thing of Zandi pointing him out.
Guys, tell me something. Who pointed Mbata out? Is it the mother, Zandi? Who like, I'm trying to understand that part.
For me, I thought it was the mother.
It was Makumalo, allegedly.
Not the girls. None of the girls
No.
pointed her out. Pointed him out.
None of the. Remember, the second suspect, which supposed to be Ntanzi. The women, the girls, they couldn't describe. So the mother, she's the one who pointed out Mbata. You understand? But now, if the lady
Hold on.
didn't agree with the mother.
Hold on. Sorry to interrupt. I just realized something. If they said they couldn't describe the second suspect per the warrant officer drawing lady, what's her name? Stinnekam. So since they
Stinnekam.
couldn't describe her, right? And let's take a look at Untanzi and Zamogutle Mbata. They are two different people. One is tall, one is shorter. There's no way you could confuse the two. I just wanted to add that point. But go on.
Yes, I agree with you fully. Remember, if they didn't agree with the mother, they were supposed to say right there that no, this is the wrong person, Mama. You pointed the wrong person, but they kept quiet. So the fact that they kept quiet, it meant they agreed with the mother. And yes, Ntanzi and Mbata, two different people. Remember, even Steenkamp, to even come up with that drawing that is in the court is because she took the ID. Allegedly, she took the ID of Ntanzi and draw that thing and try to modify with the threads and stuff like that. So they couldn't describe the second intruder. So how do you now come and say this is the person who
Okay, guys,
the second intruder?
This is where basically I was taking you to this point. Each witness on the list, my thinking is, okay, who's calling this witness? Whose case are they defending amongst these people? So, Ichi, if you call Mbata, amongst the accused on the stand, who's calling Mbata? Because remember that it's the accused that are calling people on their defense. So, if you call Mbata as accused number 3, what are you saying? Where's the relationship between what has been said in court and Mbata? You see what I'm trying to say? I guess that's why Mbata is doing litigations outside of this case and did his things, and now he has to wait, which is just a tactics to pause him, maybe hoping that he's going to die before receiving that money. I hope he has his will, allegedly, obviously. I hope he has this will in place that should this money, should these people look found guilty on the current accused, he then gets his money. And I hope he has those things sorted in order that even if he dies, somebody receive that money at the end of the day. Because we should be questioning that, in as much as we love to see Mbata, but realistically, who who has the chances of calling Bata here? I think since Bata was not called by the state, the defense have less chances of calling Bata, because I don't see
How can the
what
state call
actually
Bata?
happened.
The same state arrested him.
Mm,
Oh, right there. So,
Bongan,
sorry, Mas, before you come in. Sorry, Mas, before you come in. Remember, Mzansi, remember what Ratha said. We are using Judge Ratha's own words. He said, do you remember this other time when he was telling the defense to help Advocate Baloyi even finding evidence against their client? You remember him saying something along those lines?
Yes, yes, yes.
If you remember that, it means that according to Judge Ratha, Advocate Baloyi also is obliged to bring evidence that is contradicting his own case. So he would have called Mbata even if Mbata is contradicting his own case.
nah, that time the presiding officer was trying his luck. That thing is not there. He knows. He was from the tavern, Soweto tavern, so we can't take him serious. Look, when it comes to accused number 5, I think that's where they will find opportunity to call like the likes of Sibia, if they want to, the likes of Ivan Kosa, everybody that played a role, the Musikidi, and even the MP, that woman who said, I went to the house, because that is where that I think accused number 5 can call anyone, because these ones, 1, 2, I think they are new in these things, and that's why they were even forced to make confessions. I think if the same tactics that they used to get confessions, they tried it to accuse number 3 and number 5, they were not gonna win it. So they used accused number 1 and 2 because they were vulnerable. So even now, for them to even suggest to call the people that we are suggesting now is going to be very difficult. What they are trying to do now, they are trying to be honest. They are trying to call people that they think is going to help them. But we know that is not going to help them, because everybody that they are going to call, the presiding officer is not going to believe, because the presiding officer now, he's made up his mind that these are the right people. But when coming to accused number 5, I think he has a leeway of calling each and every, even Sifiso Meyiwa can be called under accused number 5. That's my take.
Before, kindly look, give me the linkage. Like, how do you call him as accused number 5? What is it? What is he saying in your favor? I'm still trying to understand that. Mind you, I'm not saying all these people. I'm not saying they don't have anything to I mean, they don't have a substance. They do. Even Bata can destroy the state's case. But I'm trying to be reasonable enough to say, okay, thing that I've understood, or the little that I've understood from the procedure in court. For instance, when you mention the chairman, Orlando Pirate, Dr. Ivan Koza, how are you going to call Ivan Koza? Because remember that hearsay in court are not, yeah, you can't say, I heard somebody saying this. Even a confession against you cannot work in court. There has to be an independent, concrete evidence that points towards you. Then it will warrant you being called. But I don't know. I don't know why, because for the one of Dr. Ivan Koza, we heard Usfiso Meyiwa saying he received a call, something like that. So, but then if you are a defense, I'm trying to understand the link. How do you say, okay, we're gonna call you, but how are you linked to my case? That's where I'm getting confused. Yeah, but no. I'm left alone here. People are gone.
No, you are not alone.
I'm waiting.
No, we are here. We are here, Baba Bongan. The, we were digesting your points and how you questioned and the linkage between all the witnesses that we are saying they have to be called because from where I'm sitting, the thing is when I look at this case, I see it heading to SCA. So we need more evidence, more meat that can help us to be successful, especially at SCA. So people that were in the house, remember now, we have the state case says these people are the ones that did the deed. And we have people out there that they know that is not true. So now, why don't we call those people that they know that they have information, like the likes of Mbat? He knows that when he comes, he will simply say, you know what, these people are not the ones that committed this crime. Because even myself, I was, because he's not defending only accused number 5. But why am I using accused number 5? Because he's the last one. So now, yes, he's going to be defending all of them, but using number 5, because number 5, he will be the last one. His case is going to be the last case. Therefore, now, we will want to get all the information, but using accused number 5. I don't know if I'm making sense or not.
Yes. Yes. For me, you're making sense. And I can see now what the defense is doing. They are holding their strongest weapons for the very end. Because if they bring their strongest weapons now, you can see what Advocate George Balo is doing, dragging and dragging and dragging. And then my Lord opens up a new submission, a new case, new evidence, and so on and so on. So they're saving, from what I'm hearing, the best for last.
I I hear you guys. Man, I'm still not answered. And my confusion, Ila, is a tiny. I feel like we need to find a way of saying, if you call Kelly Kumalo, if you are calling Kelly Kumalo, even if you are accused number 1, there is a direct linkage because Kelly Kumalo is said to be your mastermind, right? Is the person who hired you guys. So it makes sense, right? But if I'm number 2, for instance, and I have to call Mapiri, what is, what is the linkage between my case and Mapiri? Although Bongan or SA Infotainment podcast is interested to know, Mapiri, what were you doing in the crime scene? But based on the accused on the stand, I'm still trying to understand some of the witnesses that we want to bring. It will be nice to have them, don't get me wrong, but we must also find a reasonable way to say, if we call so and so, he's defending a case of maybe accused number 4, where is the linkage? How is he linked to the case of accused number 4? Because a girlfriend for accused number 4, direct linkage, cell phone evidence, direct linkage. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm trying to say? Accused number 4's landlord, a direct link, but where is the link between accused number 4 and Mapiri, for instance? As an example. So we want these witnesses, but my struggle again is, how are they linked to the accused? Telekomalo is linked, said to have called accused number 5. At least there, we've got grounds to call Kelikumalo for the defense of accused number 5. And one of the confession as well says that, I forgot which one, says that accused number 4 and 5 were busy, or 3 and 5, between them. They were busy, they were in communication with Kelly Kumalo before the offense or after the offense, something like that. So if it's for accused number 3 or 4 or 5, Kelly Kumalo is coming to defend one of those people, then it makes sense. There's a linkage. We will say, based on the confession that you brought before us. So Kelly Kumalo, we are calling her to explain if she called accused number 3, if then she's called under accused number 3. If it's now under accused number 4, it's clear. But if it's if it's accused number 5, but the others, when we call them, what are we saying? Where's the link?
So let me pause you right there, because we're talking about the what ifs and the what ifs. Let's go back to the original topic: the presiding officer, the recusal, the judge. What inspired your video, which is why I wanted you to join the chat. I had started this conversation when I was doing a recap, and that no. And then I saw a lot of comments of people saying they want a t shirt that says, you can take me up on appeal. So I want to hear from your end of the YouTube streets, what inspired your video with regards to Judge Ratha, the one and only senior black judge.
Hey, Yabanda, that one is very simple. When we say a parent, just the word parent, it comes with expectations from us. Even if you are in our age, the fact that you are a parent to someone, it comes with expectations. So imagine you are a parent as well as a judge, just a judge, not 56 years, just a judge. Then imagine if you have 56 years on the bench. It now creates problems for some of us to say how you behave. We want to learn impartiality from you. We want to learn being independent from you. We have seen Judge Erasmus behaving and we were very impressed. I've gone to say that we have seen the judge who presided over the Jacob Zuma versus Billy Downer and that other journalist. Although the judgment, I would have loved to see the judgment favoring Jacob Zuma, but I have no reason, zero whatsoever, to blame the judge or falter the judge, because the judge behaved himself. There are so many cases that we can bring in. The judge who was managing the case of Thabo Baxter, they behave very well. There are so many cases. The judge was presiding over the bail trial of AKA accused. He behaved himself. But we've got a man with 56 years of experience sitting on that bench, constantly having to remind us about his experience, yet the experience is not translated to his day-to-day functionality. You know, when they say, when Mnisi say, if Mnisi can say, I have 10 years as an advocate, look, working as an advocate for the NPA, we will be like, it makes sense. Looking at, judging from how you behave, the way you are able to, then the things you do on that case, we will just be like, it makes sense. But I'm not sure if I can say the same thing with others. So for me, there is an inner cry in me that says, "Eish, I wish we had someone who was fair. Even if we say the accused are not the right one, but we don't want to blame the presiding officer. But now we have to blame presiding officers and because of their behavior. Man, I've seen some of these things actually because I've been into different courts that is for cases that I don't get to talk about on my YouTube channels. And I've seen these things behind closed doors that these people can be very biased. I guess they are learning from the best.
Did you say they're learning from the best?
They are learning from the best. They know. I've had to write a letter and ask them, stop being biased. Please. I don't want you to favor me, but I don't want you to treat me to mistreat me in court. I want fairness in court. That's it.
We receive it. We receive it. Mass, your commentary?
Yeah, in Tsonga, they're saying imintro ya bola bola. So you don't need to tell us how the experience. You don't need to tell us anything, but your actions will tell us whether you are experienced or you are not, whether you are biased and if you're not biased. So this thing of telling us that you have 57 years and whatever, why are you telling us? Is because you can see that we are not seeing that what you are saying. This thing of saying I'm the most senior judge in criminal law, and then every time when you try to quote a law or a case or a section, you are mixing those sections. You hear somebody say section 186, then the defense or one will come and say no, my lord, actually it's 187. So what are you saying? So this thing
So,
of experience, that not for me. He's just there are these people of liking to boost over nothing. There is nothing there. There is nothing, absolutely nothing. The question that we should ask ourselves, maybe the answer to my friend Bongani is because I did that video because we can see that this guy is biased and there is nothing that we are learning from that old man. Absolutely nothing. If the bar is too low, we okay. Myself, I'm very illiterate when coming to law. Okay, my wife is studying law. I'm trying to help her with assignment and something like that. So I'm always reading these case laws, but I'm learning nothing from the state and their lawyer, because now the presiding officer is acting as if he's appearing on behalf of the state. So I'm learning nothing from those two. So yeah, that's
They
what I'm
call
saying.
him they call him Judge Witness. He's got three titles. They call him what? Judge, Witness, and State Prosecutor, all in one. Yeah, but I also want to say something there to say,
this is my.
okay, continue.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I was
Yeah,
just
those
going
are
to
some of
add to the conversation the comment. The comment from Ukunene Sidwell, he says there's a difference between experience and service. And I think this is where Judge Ratha gets it wrong. This is a perfect comment to summarize the judge's behavior. There is
wait.
service and then there is experience. But go ahead, jump in.
Wait. This person, yeah, well, this person who just commented here, who said, well, these are the people who sleep while we are talking and then they dream the answer and they go and download the answer from the archives. When they raise their hand, they say something more powerful. They're like, this one, he just got like, this answer got delivered through a dream. Okay, Shilela, if you don't get it, forget about it.
AI.
So yeah, no, but it's one of those things where you know I once said that you don't want to have any grievances against a judge because the perception that we have is that my lawyer can defraud me, a company can mistreat me, a police officer can, take a bribe against my case and do all this stuff. But there's one person who's the last line of defense, and that is a magistrate, or that's a magistrate or a judge. When you see that person doing or exhibiting signs of biasness, it destroys the confidence in that person. But not only does it destroy one's confidence towards that person, it also affects the institution they represent. I've often said, everything that we see in that court, as long as it bears the name of Gininda and what, it reflects back to the image and the credibility of the South African Police Service. Everything that is happening in that court, done by the state prosecutors, Banda and Baloy, it reflects back to the image and the credibility of the NPA. Everything that is happening in that court, done by the members of correctional service, it reflects back to when they were fighting with the accused. It reflects back to the credibility and the image of the correctional service. Anything that the judge does in that court, it reflects back to the credibility and the image of the judicial. Whether the judicial wants to accept that or not, how people view judges, it's Dutch Mohatleng's behavior is either helping them to view judges as a last line of defense or to say, if I'm defrauded, there's nothing beyond that. And we don't want to have society that does not trust police officers. We don't want to have society that does not trust correctional service. We don't want to have society that does not trust the state prosecutors. We don't want to have society that does not trust judges, because if we have society that doesn't trust these institutions, we are left with people who can only take law into their hands when they are aggrieved. And we don't want that. But the people who are on the SENZO MEYIWA case, acting as officials, they are not helping, including the judge himself.
Sorry, Bongani, we are forgetting the very important person, the interpreter. If the interpreter interprets wrong things, put them into a record, then we are doomed. Interpreters like a linesman. Normally, people in soccer matches, they forget that the linesman, if he doesn't raise his flag when somebody is offside, then that person might score a goal and it will be a legitimate goal. So this guy, Jonas, he did a damage to the defense case, because in most cases he doesn't interpret what they are saying, and some of the things that he's supposed to interpret, he doesn't interpret. He just keep quiet, especially when the judge and Baloyi are talking. He doesn't interpret back to the accused so that they can understand what they are saying. So you forgot about that man, Jonas.
I have to jump in. If it's about Jonas, I'm inside parity within, just like Jonas in the whale's belly. You know what? You don't know. They say better the devil that I know until you hear a different interpreter actually putting the right things on the record. Then you say, my goodness. And another thing I've told you guys, I've been reading the transcripts of the Madlanga Commission. So as someone who watches the Madlanga Commission passively, I don't watch it like from start to finish because sometimes, my goodness, it's like 8 hours, or the ad hoc committee can be a whole 16-hour thing. But the point I'm saying is I listen to that the Madlanga Commission passively. So when I'm now reading it, reading is very different from watching, and you appreciate the transcripts. That's where you appreciate the transcripts, and you say to yourself, "My goodness, the SENZO MEYIWA transcripts are possibly really, really bad." Because there are some parts in the Madlanga Commission where you can be reading and it will say indistinct, which means the transcriber cannot hear what was said. And that is very, very, very bad for someone who has to go through the record, which means it's going to be missed out on what that little point was. And it could be critical from finding someone guilty or not guilty. So in this case, Jonas is very good. He has been very good and he's been skating under the radar. And he almost got away with it. He almost got away with it. He's been putting the wrong things on the record. And not just him, by the way, not just him. Multiple of the interpreters have been doing this. They are summarizing. There's a part where Undanzi says, "Listen, you keep saying jacket." So, and I was supposed to do this, to go back and listen to Zungunaiza, how Zungunaiza described the sweater. Did Zungunaiza say sweater, hoodie, or did he say jacket as well? Or that was interpreted into jacket. So now it's coming months later or years later, and now the record is saying jacket, and Danzi is saying, "Listen, this is a tracksuit." Well, it's changing the version of the sentence, and this is very, 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 very unfair to the accused. I just put in a poll, the exact poll as Newsroom Africa. You know what we do over here. We hold the polls accountable. Let's see how we say. So over there on the giant logo station, their poll says yes, the accused are guilty. So far, Mzansi Unfiltered poll says 75% say no. The state has the wrong people. And 23% say they are not sure. We are waiting for a yes. Where is my dearly beloved? You must never think you can escape me. Where is she? Where? Thassel.
You know why? You
Will you
know
come
why?
to the front of the room? Yes,
You know why? I
I'm
hope
here.
Linda Mitzi and the producer, they are listening. I told them, I told them, I said to them, the reason your polls always come out this way, it is because of the type of audience. I hope these people are listening to me right now. I said it that the type of people who are following you, all of them believe what you believe in. There's less majority that doesn't believe that. I said it. I said if I were to do the same poll, the result will be different. I'm glad without us speaking about this, I'm glad you proved my point.
Now, you know what you've just done? You've just proved to me that you are not watching us closely. This is something we do religiously every Sunday. If they put out a poll, I'm right there. I'm there in the poll department. I'm like, I'm not even good. Before I used to change it up a bit, I'm like, nope. I want it the exact same way. Okay, there's a typo there, but you guys know what we're talking about. Um, because every time I would see the poll in the beginning, I would say, what is this? Who are these people? Is this AI? Are they bots? And then the lieutenant general from the tiny little province, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, waved a big, huge red flag and said, mainstream media is not make sure. And I said, that's my cue. That is my cue. You call me, I will answer the call of duty. It's not possible. It can't be that they have 100% that these are the right people. But we do have one of the 100%ers in the room. Welcome. This is an open platform. I appreciate you subscribing as well. I know you subscribed because you wanted to put your point across. So, you know what? We'll give you the attention you deserve. The comment says the state won't be calling anyone else. We are all aware because the state closed their case way before Muzi took the stand. So this case is done and dusted. You have 3 convicted murderers. Then you have a pew pew. then you have someone pointed at by two witnesses. And this is what I always say, guys, when you go ahead and put a comment, please, I encourage you, because then, I want to screenshot a comment and I want to exhibit that you used your, not artificial intelligence, that you sat down and said, you know what, I want to exhibit my knowledge, my mainstream media knowledge, or whether it's layman's terms, but at least show that you are following the case or that you have a little bit of knowledge of the law. It doesn't matter if they are convicted of 45 cases of unaliving an entire bus. It doesn't matter. Which is why when they appear in court, they are called accused number one, accused number two, and they're called by their names. They're not called accused number three, convicted and sentenced to life. My lord, please keep that in consideration because it will skew the judge's mindset. So I have to say,
Innocent until proven guilty.
for the current charge. The previous ones have been dealt with. And they tried that with Untanzi. That's why they tried. And by they, I mean Advocate George Baloy. He tried to pin Untanzi, and Tanzi said, "You don't know my name. Oh, you did not take me back to Rustenburg, because that is where T-Girl, yes, Mam Fundesi, was thrown out. She was told to leave by the back door because she was lying to the court." And you could tell Advocate George Baloy was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you? You brought up the case. And Tanzi said, if you bring that one up, I'll also bring up what happened in there. There was no firearm. The case was thrown out. So,
I sure, yes, I remember.
yeah.
Hey,
So the
hey,
case, go ahead.
continue. No, continue.
The case was thrown out. And the defense did try to tell the judge, you can't bring up that case against Untanzi. And my lord said, I don't know where Advocate George Malo is going with this. So we must hear what he has to put on the record. Let him do it. So the defense said, okay, you insist, no problem.
You want to kill yourself? Let's give them the poison.
And Tanzi said, I don't even know why those lawyers are objecting, because my lawyer knows how I'm going to handle this. We've handled this. And Tanzi batted it right back. He took that goal and he said, George Valoy, you will regret ever mentioning Rustenburg. And that's where we are now. I think that's where we ended. They're literally still in Pukeng, Rustenburg, going to Tanzi's house, looking for the sweaters, couldn't find the sweaters, found the bag full of bullets. And then, but how did you get in? Oh no, they took the key from my So when they took the key, they didn't find the phone. Bam! How did you take the key from an accused? So everything is not working well. So I hope, though,
Wait. The keys were taken from who?
Danzi's pocket. To open Danzi's room, where he
When?
left Ulebo inside. Okay, let me bring you up to speed. Lebo, when Danzi was arrested, Lebo was left inside, but somehow, out of cruelty, Danzi locked that room and locked her inside. And then they went and then they came back and unlocked the door, but they don't say she was still there. So how did she exit? Because Danzi has the key. Do you understand what I'm saying? Danzi says no.
No, stop it. No, stop it.
I'm taking a drive with my banner here. And I'm going, but you must stay inside here. I'm going to lock the door, put the keys and my two phones in my pocket. Don't worry, I'll be calling you every day. And then he comes back, escorted by the Pukeng police and Gininda. Gininda, the one who's there, who's got the pocket. He doesn't have he doesn't have his own pocketbook. Do you guys not find that ironic? Gininda doesn't have his own pocketbook, but he is in possession of the pocketbook of the late General Mfazi. They open the door. They don't see Lelo. They don't Lebo. I can't even remember her name. Lebo. They don't see her. But they take the key from Tanzi, who has his hands handcuffed behind his back, and they say, can we borrow your keys? We are very gentle policemen. And Tanzi says, yeah. It's in my pocket here.
Whoa. When are they going back there? After how many days or hours?
I'm not sure, but it's after
But
days.
so
Remember,
you mean
they
man, don't worry, don't worry. So tell those police of yours that they are super incompetent, that they arrest someone, leave him with the keys and the cell phones, but they go to court and claim they did their job. Please tell them that Bongan says you are incompetent.
and then the presiding officer claps his hands and says it's the magnificent, the greatest brigadier of all times, the best of the best. But the brigadier is
The
there as
most
well.
senior. You forget the
Most
word. The most senior who left his family, drive from Boksburg to Rustenburg just to go and stay there and come back without entering the house? No ways. The most senior.
the most
the man
senior.
who the man who allowed us to make a call in his presence from his phone, the phone that will later be picked up by a tower. Yeah, no, this case is a case of miracle. Continue, guys. I don't want to stress myself about incompetent people.
So Ntanzi,
And
according to the record, go ahead.
remember when they search him, they leave the phones, and this guy is there, the most senior. They leave the phone and then they unlock, but the most senior judge, criminal senior, he doesn't ask the question that where are the keys, because they're supposed to be exhibit, right? The most
No,
senior.
they gave him back the keys with
Oh,
his
whoa.
phones. Because don't
So
forget,
the most senior
most
police allows all of that.
yes. And not only the most senior police, but the most senior judge and the most best senior prosecutor who has never lost a case. All of them do not ask themselves, but what are we going to say about the keys? Where are the keys? Where are the 121 dockets? We want the keys that you used to open that room to find the live ammunition. You see, the PKTT, they went over there to Sergeant Kosi's house. They immediately gave us an inventory of what they found. They arrested him, and he's currently on a Daniel fast. Not even a Daniel fast, because he's refusing everything. He's
To
not
drive fast.
eating. It's a
To drive
dry
fast.
fast. He has the so how is it that the cold drink unit just cannot just accomplish the bare minimum? And then we have Mangena. No, not Mangena. Mabena. Mabena says, you know what? Let's meet Ubutelezi. Yeah, no, he mustn't come to a police station. Yeah, ask him where he wants to meet so he can give you your toiletries. Yeah, you're going to use your phone. Okay, let me unlock it for you. Let's use the pattern. Yeah, let's call him. Okay, call him and ask him where a whole
So
police officer.
who's doing that? The cold drink unit.
Yes, Mabena.
Yes.
No, if you don't
And
get it,
now
forget about it.
we have the most senior journalist running his
Most.
mouth on the national TV, the most senior journalist, saying the people that they have are the right one, the most senior. These people,
You know what? Griselda Lewis said, I'm out. I don't want to be in that courtroom anymore and bearing witness to this. And then my name is continuously there. So she's left the building. We don't have Griselda Lewis. Maybe Natasha Perry should come and be independent in that room for independent media because you know what? I think it's very unfair for people who do not get to watch the trial on a day to day basis and they tune into this mainstream media and then they are told, yeah, yeah, these are the guys. Yeah, yeah, these are them 100%. And you don't have, if you're not on YouTube, if you're not on TikTok, if you're not following on Facebook, you're really a very busy professional. most senior possibly in your job. You don't have time to sit on YouTube all day or figure out which podcast is doing what. You will believe the propaganda. They're telling you that these are the guys. This is the
But
man.
but let me tell you something. This one I need to say it before I leave. If you are listening to the sound of my voice right now, or whenever you happen to come across this, these are the questions you need to ask yourself. Who kept the case of SENZO MEYIWA alive? Was it the mainstream media? The answer is no. Go and find evidence.
Sorry, say the question again. I didn't hear you.
Who kept the case of SENZO MEYIWA alive? Was it mainstream media? The answer is no.
No.
It has always been concerns citizens, never the mainstream media. If the mainstream media, they are not responsible, they are not the ones who kept the case alive, then
No.
why trust people who are actually are not the people who kept it alive? And I'll tell you this, we content creators, and especially YouTubers, we came at a later stage. But what we have done well was to document this, because wherever we do, whatever we do, whenever we upload videos on YouTube and they go public, it's part and parcel of algorithm.
Mhm.
We are creating records. So someone 5 years down the line, when they would have been doing a research, they will come across this information too. But if it wasn't for people like Men Are Not Perelux and all of those people who got threatened, we will not have been here. If it wasn't for the likes of Abos Nobile, advocate,
Therefore,
therefore, who fought that this
Sfiso
case must
Meyiwa.
be live. If it wasn't for the likes of Sisome, we will not have been here. So you find that there are people who make sure that the world see what we see through mainstream media. And I'm saying this to say people must just ask themselves that question. Lastly, you must look at, I've come to appreciate this. We're called what? We're called what? What experts? Please remind me, guys. We're called what? Someone
Oh,
referred us as what?
plenty
Self-appointed experts.
Yes. Yes.
If it wasn't for self-appointed experts, I'm telling you, some of the things, even now, it wouldn't have happened. Even as we watch that case, it wouldn't have happened. There are things that, as self-appointed experts, we do and say, and some of those things you'd see them happening in court. There are videos that were done by the so-called self-appointed expert, and the state decided to act swiftly on an information that is coming from self-appointed expert. So self-appointed expert knows one or two things that you must give it to self-appointed experts.
Guys, I agree. Where are the likes for the self-appointed experts? Where are they? Also, just
The one thing that these people forget, ne? Listen to Mzansi Unfiltered now. She's saying, I'm reading the records of Madlanga Commission. Bongani said, I've went and read some of the cases that are supporting the issue of Ratha should recuse himself.
Mhm.
So these people, they forget that even the self-appointed expert are capable of reading.
Yes. No, 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 no,
Are
no, 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 no. You have to say that louder. That is important because there's a misconception that the self-appointed experts cannot read. And let me tell you something. Even if you watch the Netflix documentary, I challenge you if you have access to Netflix, just go and watch. I think it's 5 episodes. And then you will see there's also a propaganda there. And then I will challenge you to say, so the one of the reasons why I created this channel, or should I say this, I started following the SENZO MEYIWA trial, is because I realized if I wanted to go back and say, what did Zungu say? The mainstream media just gives you a 6-hour clip and you're just trying to find one sentence. There are no transcripts. Where are the records? Mainstream media can easily, how many of those students walk in to the court from, is it UJ or UNISA? They walk in. That's a good group of about 30. SABC or whichever channel can just simply say, come sit here, edit these, clip these things. I'm giving you an idea and I'm copywriting it to mainstream media. Don't steal my idea. Pay me, write me my check. And they can they don't even have to pay them. And they in fact, they should use their YouTube revenue to pay them so they do the work, because 10 years down the line, or whenever this judgment comes, we want to be able to come back to this case and say, on this date, the judge said this to Sholol. On this day, you will never find it on mainstream media. Never. So shout out to Mzansi Unfiltered, selfish plug. Yeah. And the rest of the podcasters. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Takes up a lot of space. That's why when you guys bring in those super thanks, they contribute. I can increase my storage space. I can get more devices. I don't need lighting because I'm witness you. That's the only thing I don't need a budget for. But right now, I need space. Space is critical. We're currently on critical. And
But
it
stable.
limits me we're critical, but no, we're not even stable, because some days I can't even post because my device will be like, clean up is essential, clean up. And I don't even want to, because the record is going to disappear. So I'm currently keeping my own record in case this goes somewhere.
So yeah, the point that I was trying to drive home is these people, especially that court, they think people who are doing the YouTubers, maybe they are dropouts, they are standard 5, they are people are
Who is
having
thinking that? Who
degrees.
is thinking that?
No,
No.
if somebody says you are self-appointed expert, you know nothing, and I mean, to think it's free. To think it's
No,
free.
they mustn't forget. They mustn't forget that Njabs was mentioned as an expert over there at the Madlanga Commission. So
Mina,
it
Mina,
can't be. It can't be.
I wouldn't even care whether you mention a degree or not. All I'm saying is, I will tell you that one thing I know is that there is a person who was a cleaner at the hospital, and people with medical degrees were confused, not knowing what to do. And the cleaner gave them a solution that went on to change the world.
Mm.
Undermine self-appointed expert at your own peril. That's why some people. That's why some people whose name I choose to withhold, they want to regulate us. It's only a certain group of people. I know MK Part is not worried about regulating us. I know EFF is not worried about regulating us. Even DA is not worried. It's only one group of people who are concerned about
No.
regulating us. You know what?
No. Don't forget Action SA. Action SA. Let's not forget. There's only one group of people. They like to play in the tender pool. Group of people is very questionable.
They are the ones who wants to regulate self-appointed experts because they are where they are because of self-appointed experts. So if you undermine self-appointed expert, they will reduce you from 50% to 39%. If you undermine self-appointed expert, you will do so at your own peril.
Look, my friend Bongani. The very same people that you are talking about that want to regulate the YouTubers, because they are lazy thinkers. YouTube itself, it's regulating the YouTubers. Currently, you are not allowed to say those substances. That's why you have to come up with other words. We are using unalive. We are using so many words that YouTube is regulating you. So why do you want to regulate people that are already regulated? It shows that these people are lazy thinkers. They are lazy to think.
food that is cooked. You wanna cook a KFC? It's cooked, my brother. You just have to eat it.
Yeah, it's been quite a day, guys. We're almost at 3 hours. Remember, I was supposed to drop, and then I didn't drop, and I pushed back another session that I'm supposed to be in, just because this is Bondaba, okay? I gotta give you the honor. This has been quite an interesting conversation. What are your expectations tomorrow? Let's close it off. We'll start with Mass.
Tomorrow, we are going to have more fresh cooked meal. They were cooking. Now it's, but the problem is with them, if they want to put salt, they put more salt. If they want to put spice, they put more. So we know that they are going to. They were cooking, but one thing for sure is going to be more, and it's going to be obvious to us that, oh, this is what they were busy cooking.
So
They
tomorrow
were
they're
cooking.
serving. Tomorrow they're serving it hot.
Yes, we know tomorrow. The presiding officer, I don't like to call him the judge because he's far away from being a judge. The presiding officer is going to pretend as if he's somebody who's quiet, who's somebody who's impartial, right up until Munisi stand up and say Gininda, or somebody says Gininda, then you go to default mode. So now, that's what we should expect starting from tomorrow.
My best way to say.
Baba Bongani, as Mass has been calling you. Yeah, what are you expecting tomorrow?
I'm expecting an advocate Baloyi who went home and sat down, because the way he closed things, he strategically closed that thing and say, my lord, I think we should take the long adjournment, and there is actually a recess. Will come back on the 13th. Where he stopped, he strategically paused.
Mm.
And judging from what I was listening, I could tell that the man is running out of points now. So,
It was the first time in the history of the SENZO MEYIWA trial where they adjourned without hesitation. It was, let's go out. If I am still alive, we'll
yeah,
be back.
yeah.
I wish you the best in your future endeavors. We are going for the Easter break. Little did they know a whole sergeant will be arrested. Now, how are they going to prove their point that Gininda is untouchable? He's a senior. There's no way he can do any wrong. In fact, is Brigadier Gininda not in the same office or building as Sergeant Nkosi and Brigadier Gininda? There's something in the air in that building. I can't prove it yet, but the air there needs to be verified.
During COVID-19, they used to what? Just to make sure that the air is clean. They used to do something about it. Let me leave it there. You figure it out. I want to say, the way he posed that thing, I realized the man was running out of ideas. So I'm expecting an individual who went home, strategized, and is about to ask a question. For me, listening to him then, I could tell that even if I were to say, I have 5 days for you, he'd be like, no, thanks, I'm enough. He had enough. But now he's probably going to try and drag Ntanzi and ask all these same repetitive questions that if they were asked by the defense, I know someone who would have told them to make progress, but I'm not going to say who. But I know someone would have said, let's make progress. Let's stop wasting time.
Where are you going with this?
I'm expecting Baloyi that is going to come up and ask almost the same questions that they asked before the adjournment, but in a different way.
Advocate George Baloyi, please, with all the greatest of respect, senior prosecutor, all protocol observed, Gweliga George, please, I beg of you, on behalf of Abondaba and members of the public, don't waste our time. Don't waste our time. Please release Ntanzi back to his seat, because one thing, he is not letting go anytime soon. You see, Ntanzi is younger than you. His blood runs faster than yours. You see, that's why we see you sweating and sweating and sweating. So we members of the public, we release you. We've heard you. You tried your best. We can give that to you. You tried your best. Will justice be served in the SENZO MEYIWA trial? I Mzansi Unfiltered is still sitting at 0%. Yes, the accused are guilty. Where are the 100% on the giant logos there? Where are they? You have an open invitation to this poll. You don't even need to subscribe. Do the honorable thing. Let us know about the guilt. But from where I am sitting and recording, we are still at 93%. No, the state has the wrong people. 7% say, I am not sure. I can't even hold it against you that you're not sure.
Mzansi,
Yes?
I'm sorry to interject. Look, I hope Baloyi and Danzi can go another 5 weeks. I'm enjoying how
What?
he's skinning him alive. Another 5 weeks. Danzi's marinating him. So when you say he must stop or leave and Danzalo, no. You are hitting, you are paining me. Let Danzi marinate this man.
You want this series to continue, because
I
you must
need
look at
Ndanzi
the
to
reaction.
marinate. Ndanzi is marinating him. He was shocked when he said, your most senior constable Mohola, they chased her away. So I need that. That is keeping us alive. Let
You know what?
Baloyi continue
I'm
destroying himself. I will still need another 5 weeks. Please don't
I'm
say
still
Baloyi must run away. Ntanzi is doing very well. Please don't spoil our party.
guys,
Guys,
I
let's
really
go.
need that
We bought
clip.
champagnes. We bought champagnes. We still enjoying this thing. Let Ntanzi destroy this guy. Please don't say that Baloyi leave that. How? No. Don't spoil our party.
Guys, I need that clip. I've tried to search for it. See, the problem is that I get distracted by Mr. JM Batsane, and then I end up listening to the Zulu. I cannot find that clip for the life of me. The one where Untanzi says, which one? You mean the one that was thrown? I need that clip. Let me know which day. I know it was on Thursday. I just can't
Guys,
find what time it was. So please find it for me. Let me know. We need it on the record right here on Mzansi Unfiltered, because
but
I
I'm
know.
also glad, yes, before I let you guys go, oh, you let me go. I'm also glad that Elton is back at Newsroom Africa. I'm so glad.
Of course. I haven't even watched this episode. I just wanted it to play in the background. That's our homework, guys. We're going to. And also, I wanted to check if Miss Thing was there, and I was like, okay, I can watch. I can watch. I can safely watch. So expect a reaction video from myself. We've got to put our record, our poll on the record, because it can't be that mainstream media is winning. No. With that, I love you all. Thank you for joining. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for staying up. I didn't think you guys would stay up. I really did. I almost didn't. I was like, I'm so late. I'm 2 hours late to my own live. What shall I do? Dan is back at the 11th hour. This is World Cup record. Let's hear what he has to say, and then we'll close.
Yeah, no, I heard you guys mention Elton Hart. Sorry about that earlier. My battery died. No, but yeah, I saw that newsroom clip, and I see that they're featuring Professor Elton Hart. And today it was kind of unusual. You didn't see it yet, Lady Unfiltered, but it seemed like he's playing a different role, and I want to hear Bong's opinion if he saw it. If particularly, it seems like he was focusing on the state's um, case more than the defense, because I think he would agree more. But he was helping the state. Well, not helping. I'm not going to say helping, okay? But it seems like he was coming from a different place when he was giving analysis on the state's case. And I want to know what Bongs thinks about that. And I want to know what Bongs thinks about the. She didn't come on this time, but I forget her name, E2 or something like that. What does he think about her? Like, do you think she's a genuine follower of the case? And
Guys,
do you think that
sorry. I have to take this call, so I'm going to drop, but I'm going to leave that live on. All I'm going to say, everybody behave yourself. I'll be still watching from the sideline. So I'm just going on mute because I got to take this call. Bye.
Yeah, Bones, if you caught my question, let me know.
Yes, I do. But the last part is the part that is missing.
Sorry. Yeah, the young lady that is called the co-host with yourself on the Newsroom Network. What do you think about her analysis? Do you think she is a genuine viewer and as Linda says, she watches religiously? Do you think that's the case, or do you think that some people like that are just kind of dancing to the tune of Newsroom? Like, and I'm asking about your view of her analysis, as well as if you caught today's appearance by Elton Hart. Like, is there something in the water in that network that has people not like yourself, and they don't sound like you, they're not always at their senses like you, but what do you think happens when people appear at that place?
You wanna put me in trouble. Ah, all right, but let me. I don't know. I'll be honest. I haven't gotten the time to watch the episode. I just watched few of, like, I think when before the adjournment, and I was like, okay, the man is there. I'm happy. I watched probably until half. I didn't finish the entire thing. So today I don't know. I didn't watch it all. I've been busy. In terms of the lady, I don't know, because I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I got to know them on Newsroom Africa platform. I wasn't following them beyond that, including Mabelane, as you can see him there. I've not followed them, especially on their TikTok. So it will be hard for me to say, are they religiously following the case or not? Because it appears to me that they were invited because of comments that they make on TikTok.
My friend Bongan, do you know when somebody starts saying, "Let me tell you the truth," just know that that person is not telling you the truth. The very same thing, if somebody can say, "Let me be honest with you," that person is not honest. I
You
hope
guys
you
want to put me
understand.
in trouble. Hi, don't invite me in trouble. Don't invite me in trouble, guys. South Africa team
Then
will be like, bombs.
if
You got
somebody
our
says
number.
to
Why are you
you,
doing this to us?
if somebody says, let me be honest with you, my friend, just know he's not honest. If somebody says, let me tell you the truth, just know that that person is not telling the truth. So, Bongani, please answer then. Answer then. Do you think this lady?
I don't know. Don't know. News from Africa invited her on the basis of what they are doing on TikTok. I don't know what is happening on TikTok, but if you ask me about content creators on YouTube, as well as those who are commenting on X, I know them very well. Majority of them, even those who are for the state. So it was often said that they come from TikTok. And I'm just being honest, guys. Me, I don't follow too much of TikTok.
Okay. I'm just
I
curious.
hear you. I hear you. I
Yeah, no,
understand you, my friend.
no, I don't follow TikTok. I really don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. But my fellow content creators on YouTube, I follow them all. I know all of them.
So, but remember, the presiding officer once said he's going to bring all the police, the likes of the most senior police, to come and answer some of the questions that he said he wanted clarity, because remember, Baba Zungu came and said there is something that he doesn't understand about the signature and stuff like that. So, do you think he's still gonna call them? And if he's going to call them, why is he calling them? Because I think, for me, it just to have he was supposed to say they must call the signature expert and to come and verify whether the very same signature that is on Absolute Mzungu and the one that is in the statement of Kininda is the same signature. And the other thing is, remember now, Ntanzi is saying his signatures are appearing on the statement of the co-accused. So don't you think he was supposed to call the expert to come and check and verify that those signatures aren't for Ntanzi? Do you think he's still gonna call them?
Very interesting. Maybe the question is, who has interest to serve justice in that court? Because I think if it was Judge Erasmus, I think he would have done so. I know it's short answer, but it's straight to the point.
No, I'm talking about Kininda. Do you think he's still gonna call Kininda and the rest? With regard to the signature expert, yes, I know he doesn't have interest in knowing the truth, so he's not gonna call the signature expert.
We had a similar argument on Newsroom Africa, and I said to them, guys, if you say Kininda will be called because of the allegations or the statement or words said by the accusation emanating from Makosonke and the others as well, I said to them, I can tell you now what Kininda is going to say in that court. He's going to deny that. But he has denied it in the past. It's not like he's coming to say anything new. But somebody wanted to bring him. Why are you not bringing people like that, the signature expert? I don't know. But right now, it looks like, I'm not sure, because I was listening to him, he was very adamant in the beginning that he was going to call them. I think if there's something that can press that thing again, or maybe someone can remind him of that, maybe he will bring them. Because listening to him later on, it sounded like he has moved on from that. But I do know something is going to trigger him, and he's going to say, no, I'm going to call them back.
The issue of Capitec, do you think Attorney Ramusibidi is doing enough to get the real statement from Capitec?
A very interesting one, eh? I don't want to say that now because, again, I have numbers of Attorney Ramusibidi. So some of the things, even if I have criticism for him, but some of them I preserve it because it will be like, but you should have called me directly. Again, they are not done. They have not even called a single witness. So I feel like at this moment, we will be speculating. But I do know, again, one of the things that is a problematic here is finances. Sometimes these people, when they want to call certain people, the thing is, finance plays a key role. So I do know they will be calling some of the witnesses, but I just don't know Capitec I don't know if Capitec will be among the local will made it. But again, it will be determined by finances. They are trying to save finances to the best of their ability, because if you are sponsored by the state, the same state illegal aid that tells you you're not gonna win a case in court on appeal. I don't know if you remember that thing, but then they are also funding a process that is supposed to be free and fair, and they are now telling you they don't see prospect in prospect of success in your case. I think you'll remember when they said that, you're like, but then it means you guys are judges, most. You sit and you listen to a case and you decide we're not funding this case because we don't see a prospect of success. Hitherto. So I'm saying that those are dangers of being funded by the state. They decide what to fund and what not to fund. So I think as people, we must also remember that as well, to say there's people they may want to call you or they may want to call a certain expert, but just like they've put it on record, if legal aid says no, we don't have budget for that, they really don't have anything. They can't do anything. Those are disadvantages of being funded by the state.
So you mean no one can fund the statement of Bonganendans from Capitec? Because I
You
think
mean funding an expert?
no, not an expect. Remember what the question is: do you think he has done enough to get the real statement? Because the statement that it's in court now is questionable. Remember, Ntanzi was asking simple question like, who deposited the money? If you are saying I bought airtime via my phone, which network? There's things that they don't make sense on that statement. So now that's why I'm saying the real statement. And remember, if he can get the real statement from Capitec without the one that is provided by the state, because remember, state are giving them the documents that they are trying to poke holes on them. So now the very statement that Advocate Wallo is reading now, me personally, I don't believe that that is the real statement. It's been edited, it's been manipulated, and because so many things that don't even make sense. Firstly, the phone numbers that are appearing on that statement they belong to Lebo. And if Ntanzi was using the Capitec's account before he met the girlfriend, so how did that phone number end up in that statement? Remember, they manipulated the number phone from Arthur. They swapped it to accused number 5 according to Pinky Faithelingen section 205. So if that can happen, then chances are they might have even used the very same strategy where they throw that software of the police software where they throw the things and they miraculously change and become things that are even better than Vodacom's one. He said is that software. They were even, I remember Advocate Msholo couldn't even XYZ, that software. So maybe they even throw the bank statement there and it came up with whatever they have. So that's why I'm asking whether do you think the Attorney Ramusebele has done enough to get the real statement?
But maybe what I'm trying to show you here is that it will be difficult to say that because remember they've just opened the case and after Ntanzi, look after the state is done with Ntanzi, we go through and into the re-examination. As soon as we're done with the re-examination, that's when Ntanzi bring in the witnesses. That's when he tries to defend himself there by bringing other witnesses. So I'm simply saying, at this moment, we can't say he is not done enough because that hasn't happened, or the opportunity for a Capitec forensic expert who will come and confirm every single thing we are seeing. That opportunity hasn't come yet. If it maybe if you were to say to me, do I wish to see an expert from a forensic expert from Capitec who will come and confirm every single transaction in Tanzania's bank statement? The answer that I will give without hesitation is that yes, a big yes. I am interested, and I'm hoping and wishing that we do get an expert, forensic expert from Capitec.
Okay, now I hear you, because the state is not doing enough to gain our confidence based on the history that we have, the relationship that we have with the state. Everything we are skeptical about it. So that's why I'm asking this question, because I don't trust that statement. And yeah,
I neither do I trust it. I don't trust it. I don't trust that thing.
the other thing is, do you think SENZO MEYIWA will be called?
I doubt.
Why not?
He wants to. He wants to come, but I doubt. I doubt.
Do you
I
think,
doubt. I doubt.
none of the defense is interested in hearing his story?
Hey, I'm on the teacher by your boss. I don't know. The thing is that it's also about resources as well, because you will remember that they had to arrange
You guys
for
are still here.
witnesses.
Huh? Are you squatters?
Oh, you
They're
back?
squatting on my channel.
No, we were waiting for
They're
you before we
squatters.
leave.
No, I told you guys that I might not come back, but I saw that the squatters are still here.
Are we still live?
I'm just joking. Yes. Wait,
Oh,
the live is still alive. Wait, were you guys gossiping?
not
I never
really.
closed the live. The live was live.
Oh, okay, okay.
I just
No,
walked away because I didn't want you guys to hear me talking. And I'm like, sometimes the mute will say it's muted, and then it's not muting, and then you guys are like, no, you capture my mic.
fine.
So I
No, we
walked away,
didn't.
and then I was like, wait, they're still there. What? You people don't sleep?
No, I want to go. I want to go, Mina. I'm tired now. I need to sleep. Tomorrow morning, I need to wake up and rush to the office. But nonetheless, I was still answering your question. Gonji, what was your question?
The question.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You guys had a question. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna listen.
No, I was. What you saw now? I lost. Mzansi now is acting like a Ratha. He's disturbing our thought.
Don't forget you're in them Kukwini. You're in them Kukwini. I'll put you.
Train of thought. What was the question, Bongan? I forgot.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Maybe let me answer it. Let me say this. That's probably my last statement before I leave, guys. I need to leave. I was just waiting for Mzansi to come back. Look, for me, I will say.
Oh, sorry, Morgan. It was about SENZO. I asked whether do you think there is none of the defense attorneys or the lawyers that are interested in hearing SENZO's case?
I don't think. I don't know. Obviously, that one I don't know, but I don't think, like, for me, my struggles is I've not asked him. Ne? Don't get me wrong. I have his numbers. Me and him were on the same WhatsApp group. There's a group that involved one of the private investigators. We're in the same WhatsApp group. But I can tell you now that I don't know if they ask him to come and testify. What is it for? Because they are defending their clients. So if you look at the case, for instance, for me, in my understanding,
Sorry to interrupt. One of you is inside a drum. Something's going on with the sound. So maybe one of you should mute. It's mass. Mass your yeah, go on, Bonani. Sorry.
oh, okay. So I'm saying that for me, looking at this case, I even argued that when I was at Newsroom Africa. I said, guys, why do you want these people to waste time explaining some of the things if there is a shorter route? Okay, yeah, allow me to say it this way. I said in my argument that Ndanzi argues that I don't know what happened to my phone because my phone was not with me. So if you ask Ndanzi who called so and so, the simple answer is I don't know. Ask the police. The police needs to go and open SAP 13 and show us if the phone was ever stolen there. That's the strategy. Sagantan. It's a very powerful strategy because by law they need to confiscate these things, right? So that's basically what I'm trying to say. That the defense have found a simplest route, a simplest way out of all of these things is that if we can just get one person acquitted, this case is done. So we don't want to waste too much resources. We want to focus on specific weaknesses. That's my reading of this case. They want to focus on specific weaknesses and exploit that. That's why, if you listen to Ndanzi, his arguments are very simple, and Advocate Baloyi is finding is sweating. Are you saying, Baloyi, when police arrested Ndanzi, they did not take his phones? They kept his phones with him because you are saying the number that Ndanzi used in 2018 was the same number that Ndanzi used in prison. So you are saying to us, Ndanzi police did not take his phones. You know what's the implication of that other thing? That's something that I've been arguing. If you say yes, they did not take his phone, then you are saying what police came and told the court is a lie. Therefore, police cannot be trusted, including Gininda. That's where we're going. And that's basically the defense strategy. I was like, this strategy is very interesting. Otherwise, if you are saying you want to believe them, you want to believe police came and told us that when they arrested us, they took his phones. So what we're expecting to see is that when they took his phones, they put it on SAP 13. If you are saying you found Danzi with those phones, then you must go and find a record where the phones were stolen from SAP 13. If there's no such a record, then what you are saying that Tanzi was calling people is also null and void. That's basically the defense sitting down and saying, no, let's not argue the rest. This is the weakness. We're exploiting this. So I don't see them calling some of the witnesses because they're exploiting a specific weakness from a state case with limited resources. That might limit them calling the likes of who's this? SENZO MEYIWA, because it's also about their strategy. I don't know if I've answered that. I mean, I don't know if I've answered your question.
No, I'm here. I hear you. The when you're busy talking about the cell phones, I remember. I don't know is that happened under Maumela or under Ratha, where Baloyi was saying all the phones were confiscated from the accused by the day they were arrested. So, I remember he once said something like that. So the problem is I don't know whether it was under Maumela or under Ratha, but Baloyi is on record saying the phones were confiscated because he wanted to come and read the Section 205s. But now, when he says Ntanzi has the phone, that is, he's contradicting himself. So I don't know whether it was before Ratha or after. But I hope the defense lawyer can go and read the record so that they can come and challenge this thing of Baloyi. I hear what you're saying. When you're talking about the cell phones, I now remember that there was a time where Baloyi said the phones of the accused were all confiscated. So the thing is, I don't know when did he say that, but he said it. It's there in the record. If you can go and check you go back and then listen to the records. YouTube doesn't forget. I think you will find where Baloyi said the phones. I'll also do that. But Baloyi, then I'll send you a WhatsApp and give you the correct minutes and stuff like that. Where
Thank
Baloyi
you
said
very much.
all the phones were confiscated, but now he's got a audacity. Mzansi Unfiltered says it was very cheap. So that one was not cheap, it was for free. So he got it for free. That's why he got too much of it. Where he come and says, Bantanzi had a phone because he himself he said they
Guys,
confiscated all the
I
phones.
don't like your feedback. Sorry to interrupt. I don't like your feedback because you're just counting the phones. It's the keys. Please don't forget the keys. We also need the chain of evidence of the keys. Ntanzi must make sure he brings the keys to court also tomorrow because he still has them according to their evidence.
Tanzi cannot be having keys right now. It must be in SAP 13.
But they
But
don't
in
say so.
conclusion, guys, before I leave, I want to leave.
The real
Now,
conclusion.
yes. Mina, guys, I'm saying some of the witnesses, I don't think the defense they are going to call them because from what I've seen, and please understand me, from what I've seen is that they have seen the weaknesses and they are like, let's save time and energy and focus on one weakness. And they are doing this because the state needs to prove its case beyond reasonable doubt, and the defense needs to prove enough doubt. So, e.g., the story that I just told you now, Uguti, if you are saying, if police came and testified and said, we took everything from Tanzi, thereafter we even read his rights, we're like, oh, so you took his phones, you took everything, and then it's there by SAP 13. Yes. They said that. I remember them saying that. We say, no problem. Then you cannot come and say Ntanzi had his phone. Because then it means we need to go back and find the records from SAP 13 that there was someone who broke into that thing, stole Ntanzi's phones and gave it to Ntanzi. And Ntanzi happens to have the phones in prison. If there's no such a record, it means that you, Balo, you are lying with your record. Someone is lying. So I think the defense realized all of that. Was like, when we're gonna pin you against the corner, and you'll have to tell us which one must we believe. So the defense is strategically putting Advocate Baloyi is in that corner and it's busy sweating. Even tomorrow is going to try and poke and poke. But Untandi is very strategic. At some point, he had to say, hey, Baloyi, I see you said I called Umabena. You mean I called Mabena? And Baloyi refused to entertain that and said, no. I was like, yeah, bakubambile Baloyi. So for me, I think they have identified these weaknesses. They don't want to waste time and resources. They are focusing on specific weaknesses. Thank you, guys.
This was fantastic, guys. I don't know if you're trying to sleep here or you're trying to have a overnight session, but we are officially closing it. And you know what? I
Thank you.
blame the members of the Bondaba. You guys who are still there in the live watching, you are encouraging them to keep talking and entertain you. And we love it for you. I hope you enjoyed today's bedtime stories. I hope you get a great sleep. And most importantly, we are still in it till the very end. We are still here for justice for SENZO MEYIWA. I appreciate all the support. I love you guys. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye bye.
So you also believe that that could have been planted there?
Noma kanjani yaplantwa mfethu lo wathi wayibona uyena wafika nayo lo project sana